779-0985. You can also join us on YouTube as well. Just go to youtube.com, search 98.5 The Sports Hub, and click subscribe. I also like the thumbs up in there, so if you do like the show, let me know. This week I've had people tell me that they've gone back and listened, so I appreciate that. And I'm sure once the summer winds down, which is what it's doing, even though today was 95 degrees at one point, it was hot today. I already have people asking me, where did I get the pizza from? I'll get into that in a little bit. And I will tell you that it was so good that I ate some in the car. So I'm ready to go. I'm all pizzaed up. Everybody in the back, I see everybody eating pizza. I love this. What a community we have here at the Sports Hub. Well, our opening take is presented by Super Service Today, Massachusetts' #1 provider for residential and commercial plumbing, heating, and cooling, drain cleaning, day or night, always done right. Visit superservicetoday.com. I already see our friends in the chat tonight. We got Ryan Wheels, we got Joe, we got Brian Griffin, we got Seaside. I see you guys all in there as well. Drew is in there as well. So we heard today about the Patriots and their joint practices, and sounds like it was a little bit of a tough day. And where I wanted to start with this, I'll give you why it was a tough day. But I wanted to bring you back to last week when the Patriots and Commanders had a joint practice, and all we heard about was how great the Patriots were, and it was almost, not flawless, but not a lot of negative takeaways, right? Not a lot of those. So today, there was a laundry list, a CVS list, worth of issues from today that I think we should discuss, and how does that impact their game this Saturday against the Vikings. So it looks like the Patriots have studs, right? Drake May, Travion Henderson, they're young studs. They have them. But at least reports out there are that the Patriots offense has been a bit up and down. And people are still trying to grow into their roles. So right now, some of the scouting reports on the Patriots are that they won't have much time to throw the ball downfield. Now, Drake May's arm strength is a weapon, of course, and I'm reading from Chad Graff. But it might be put on ice a bit until Josh McDaniels can trust the O-line to give his quarterback and receivers enough time. This is what I talked about last night. Today, I got blah, blah, you lazy take, Joe, blah. I just want everyone to know, once again, that this year the offense is different than what they've run in the past. With McDaniels back, he gives the quarterback permission to run everything instead of communicating with the offensive line. He does the checkdowns, the cadences, the run blocks, which side to go to, etc. Which, yes, you want a quarterback to eventually develop into that. And yeah, I think at times they already have the answers. It's just, can they execute it? And it's something that we've seen in a Josh McDaniels offense with who? Tom Brady and maybe half a season of Mac Jones. So Drake May is a smart dude. I'm sure he can pick it up, but the number one thing for Drake May is turnovers and turning the football over. And now we're hearing about the O-line still having issues and the receivers aren't getting enough time to get open. So Garrett Bradbury quoted saying, some good, some bad. When summing up the last couple of days, he said it was a good test. But here's where I wanted to talk about. Is anybody talking about the Patriots defense at all? Like, I understand that the Patriots, to be truly competitive, is to have their offense rocking and rolling, right? Drake May, Stefon Diggs, Hunter Henry, you got two backs running the football. Like, your O-line is running the ball very well, which opens up the pass. Okay? That, in a perfect world, would make the Patriots entertaining, a threat, and back, right? Back potentially in the playoffs and becoming attractive again for skilled free agents. And I think that's the most successful thing this season. But their defense dominated Minnesota on Wednesday. Right? They got to J.J. McCarthy and ruined his rhythm. Pats were up and down again when it came to their offense. But today we are reading all about the Pats defense and woof. Now, I should throw out there that the Minnesota Vikings last year had 14 wins. They were one of the best teams in football, right? So whatever you want to say about it, this is the two teams that they have played. absolutely were playoff teams a year ago and should be a higher class than the Patriots. But reading from Mark Daniels today, the Patriots saw firsthand why Minnesota were a playoff team last year. And it was a tough joint practice for the team. Here's Chad Graff again from The Athletic. The Patriots' takeaway from today, the defense has to be the strength of this team. It needs to be a lot better than they were today. The offense will be up and down. We know that. But the defense needs to be reliable. And today, they got shredded. Scary, right? They spent some money. Really haven't seen Carlton Davis much. We know Spillane's going to do more in the middle at linebacker, and Milton Williams is the highest paid New England Patriot ever. I'm sure when they get Christian Gonzalez back and, Peppers is back at safety, they got some guys who can rush the passer and Landry, and now they got, Chase on in there who's turned some heads at practice. But what we're hearing is, I'm going to say this. I think it's positive when you see some of the issues the Patriots have, because it's the preseason, you can work on things, you can try different things. But when you think of a starting left tackle and a left guard where rookies, really hasn't been done in a long time. It's somewhat rare that you do that. But they've had their struggles, and to a point now where Wilson at guard is being replaced. Kyle Duggar is potentially going to be moving to linebacker. But hearing that J.J. McCarthy torched the Patriots defense today, I do agree that the Patriots defense does need to be reliable this season. And one of the things that Mike Vrabel said the other night was, take the sack, Drake May, punt the ball, and let your defense do its job. And today it sounds like the defense didn't do his job, and J.J. McCarthy lit them up. Now, I want to remind you, the Vikings, again, are this offensive-minded coach, and they are without Justin Jefferson and really without a couple of their top stars. But the defense getting shredded today, my take is this. We heard how great they were against Washington. Today we're hearing how bad the defense was in practice and how the offense is up and down. Well, we heard about that flawless joint practice. They scored 48 points, but their quarterback had a turnover. What do we see this weekend now with the Vikings? What do we see now? Do they play Drake May? Does Drake May get more reps like I want him to get? How do they handle it? And was the last 2 days now really the work they got all week? I do think the offensive line will get better as the season goes along this year. I do think that will happen, right? And I'm sure they're learning a ton, and they're seeing so many different defenses from Brian Flores right now. I'm sure it's hard for them. Like today, Will Campbell struggled. We'll give you those numbers coming up in a little bit. But we know about May's ability, how he can scramble. We're hearing about some of the weapons that he has. But we have to think about the defense and Vrabel being a defensive-minded coach first. And they were so bad against the run last year. So bad. I just think that the defense needs to be reliable this year for the team to have any success. Because I do think the offense will be better. I do think the offense will find some rhythm as the season goes along. The offense will be up and down. Drake may have turnovers. It may be what it is because he's doing so much. The defense absolutely needs to be reliable, and they weren't today. How does it look on Saturday against the Minnesota Vikings? We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. Did want to get into just some of the other notes regarding the Patriots and their offense being up and down. I know Josh McDaniels spoke about it. Mike Reese had a little something on the Patriots offense today as well, and we'll continue the conversation here on the other side. Skaz is here, and we got pizza, everybody. I think people took it. It's gone. See ya. We got it from Burn Edges in Waltham, for those that were wondering. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray.
we talked to Sean Payton about this a few weeks ago, about that element of teaching, and the best teachers can figure out what a student needs and how to explain it to them best. And apparently Drake is outstandingly smart. And he keeps up. Like, this is not an issue of a quarterback struggling with what he's being asked to do.
That's good.
And that's a win, right? For a second-year quarterback who's learning a new system with Josh McDaniels.
But I want you to know that in that clip, I did not mention it. I would like to let you know that although I have talked about... Listen, guys, here's the deal with Josh McDaniels, okay? I've always been an offensive coordinator hater. It's true. But in my defense, wouldn't you guys agree that it sucks? It has sucked for a while. So just stop pushing back on it. Just stop. The fact that they brought Josh McDaniels here is controversial. The fact that Josh McDaniels here wasn't Mike Vrabel's hire. All these people are going to send me film about Vrabel wanted him. Well, why is Thomas Brown here? Because I thought he wanted him. So when it comes to pushback, can you be a little open-minded about Josh McDaniels and his, highly decorated career that he's had? Can you at least be open to the fact that although he does have the answers to the test, he still needs people to execute? And what we're hearing out of camp, this isn't Joe's take, it's what we're hearing. What we are hearing is the offensive line is struggling. The receivers can't get open. They're throwing a lot at Drake May, and he's picking it up and doing very well and hardly really had any turnovers over the last couple of days, which is, right, the number one concern that people bring up when it comes to Drake May. So although they're throwing a lot at him, he is picking it up, and he's being commended about it from Vrabel, from everybody, for the most part. But I just think somebody in their first full season, making all the calls at the line and with two rookies in front of them, with really no communication from the offensive line, I just think it's a lot. And in a way, I know you do want your quarterback to run everything from start to finish. I don't know. I watch Kansas City. The guard touches the center snaps the ball. I watch a lot of teams that do that. What, you ever see Baltimore? Their guard kind of matches everything up with the mic. Yeah, Jackson's doing some things, but he's setting his fullback where to be, where to set up the running back, putting guys in motion. There's still communication with the linemen up front. The Josh McDaniels offense wants you to do it all. I just think it's a lot for a kid. If he picks it up, great. I'll tip my cap. They identified that Drake May can do this, and he's successful at it, and everybody can go, blah, Joe. But I do think that through 2 joint practices this week, he has handled it. He has. I just think it's a lot to ask somebody in their first full season. Now, and that was Diana Rossini, right? So some of the other things that I was hearing, and I'm just listening to clips and listening to what everybody's saying. But this is from Mike Reese today. Mike Reese goes, how do you think Drake May did yesterday handling the defensive approach from the Vikings? This was Mike Vrabel. I thought he did well. It's easy to go in a blender when you're seeing a bunch of this stuff and kind of scrambling and turning one less than favorable play into a bleep storm. Vrabel went on to say he didn't see that. He thought he was able to process. He says that they didn't execute all the time, but they didn't see panic from Drake May and thought he was able to communicate and get the things he wanted, and he made some plays. When they blocked them and when they were able to make plays. That's what I'm talking about. They have so many other things that they need to get right before he becomes in control. And today we saw Wilson, who has been the darling of camp, get replaced at guard. Right? How many times have you seen Garrett Bradbury getting completely torched by his former team? Completely torched. So I do think there'll be breakdowns. So to now put that one to the side, the defense, right? Which they spent money on. I mentioned the big names, Williams and Barmore up front with Keon White and Landry and Spillane. And to find out they get torched today? Well, I think, going up against Minnesota, they're a good team. They're a playoff team. They're well coached. really whoever they put at quarterback will be good. And you know what? J.J. McCarthy yesterday, he struggled, but today he was very good. He had the Patriots defense on their toes all day long. And I think that should be expected. That should be expected. I also wanted to just bring up actually Greenard, right? Or Grenard, excuse me. He had some comments on Will Campbell that I'll get to coming up in just a little bit. But this is the numbers I saw today regarding J.J. McCarthy and Drake May. J.J. McCarthy went 15 of 19 with 4 touchdowns. He scrambled twice and had 2 sacks. So that's what the defense did against J.J. McCarthy's for all the, J.J. McCarthy, blah. He has no weapons. You want to talk about a team with no weapons? He has none right now. No Justin Jefferson, or etc. Drake May, again, me saying that he's dealing with all this adversity and pressure and doing too much, went 10 of 13 with 3 touchdowns, was sacked 5 times today and had 4 scrambles. And oh boy, it didn't look good for one Will Campbell today. Now, this is what Jonathan Greenard said regarding Will Campbell after facing him today. And for the most part, he put him over. But Campbell struggled against him. Right? He rode the rookie roller coaster today. He labored during 11-on-11 drills today. He got flagged for a false start during a 2-minute drill. And this guy, Greenard's had, back-to-back double sack years? But his quote today on Will Campbell, he's going to be a good tackle. I just think with repetition and reps, he's going to be really good. He has some really good coaches over there. He's got some good talent to go against. He's just has to keep getting better. But a guy like that needs reps, and that's all it is. It's a matter of just getting the feel, learning how to block in this league, and learning how to protect yourself and learn how to protect with the chip. Learn how to protect where your quarterback is. So repetition is going to be his greatest asset for sure. Skaz, how does that make you feel when an opponent says he's going to be good in time? He's got a lot to learn. Basically called out all his flaws, put him over, said, hey, he's going to be good. But for the most part, called out his flaws and said he needs more repetitions when he had a lot of repetitions at LSU at left tackle.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pro being a pro, knowing that it's going to get picked up and, people are going to analyze it. I think that's a veteran kind of looking out for a rookie. It didn't sound like things were great for Will Campbell today. Obviously, that's a bit of a concern, but Grenard, like, he is one of the best edge rushers in the league. So I think that's practices like this, I don't see them as a negative for the Patriots. I think the Patriots need stuff like this. They're not one of the top teams in the league. Minnesota has one of the more complete rosters in the league. You saw what they look like with Sam Darnold as their quarterback. Sam Darnold is a guy that was, ridiculed in New England for a while because of his quarterback play. So that's a really good football team. The Patriots aren't a really good football team right now, so I expect them to get outplayed by Minnesota. I expect Will Campbell to look like a rookie at times. That's going to happen. How does he bounce back? How does he look on Saturday? Like that's what I'm interested in.
That's everything, Skess. I said this to McCarthy because we're doing post-game together this week, but I said to him, hey, man, I think our main objective on Saturday, despite what the game is last week, they were great during the joint practices. And they scored 48 points. Yeah, there was some warts, right? But for the most part, it was a great day at Gillette. Well, their defense got shredded today, and their starting left tackle got torched. Drake May was still good. J.J. McCarthy lit him up. How do they respond this week? I think that the joint practices, and guys, this is like a new norm for. I guess the new norm for us now, right? We used to be able to watch preseason games and somewhat know, like, this is the dress rehearsal game, and this is when the real ones are versus the ones, and you start mixing in some threes with ones and twos with ones, and, this guy was playing with the second unit and the third unit. It's just, we used to be able to do that. Now the new norm is we have to rely on the reporting. So my take is I think they're throwing a lot at Drake May because of Josh McDaniels' offense. It's being reported that he's handling it very well. I just want to see that on the field this week. I want to see how Will Campbell responds after getting beat today by an all-pro. I want to see if the receivers can get open. I want to see if there's a pass rush. What's going on at safety? There was no Peppers today, and Duggar supposedly is moving to linebacker now. So you got Jalen Hawkins and a rookie back there. Like, you probably won't see Christian Gonzalez, right? You probably won't see Carlton Davis. I don't know. So all we have is these joint practices and reporting. That's it. So if you don't like the takes, blame the reporters. Sorry, Alex Barth. I love you. Randy's in Providence. Hi, Randy.
Hey, how's it going, Joe?
How you doing, bud?
I'm all right. I am, hearing a lot today from people that are, concerned about the Patriots after this day of practice, and I think that people are overreacting a lot. I think that, a couple takes that I had out of this offensively. The problems seem to be from the O-line, obviously, and pass protection. And I think that from a coaching standpoint, you got to find out, what your team's good at, what they can do. You've got to test them. There's a lot to be said for, you learn more from losing than you do from winning. Yep. But I think that schematically you respond. That's what I would look for in this game on Saturday, where it's how are they getting the ball out quickly? We know that Will Campbell's not going to be good on an island, so you can't put him on one, right? So I think that Josh McDaniels has 20 years of proven experience of schematically game planning for strengths and weaknesses, both on the offensive side of the ball and the guys we're going up against, I think concerns defensively are pretty fair, though. I think primarily around the tight end position. In these 2 days, we've seen TJ Hawkinson really go off. And last week we saw Zach Ertz really have good days. And I worry about the coverage at the tight end position. Do we have guys that are big enough and fast enough to stay with those types of players? But offensively, again, with all the concerns being about the offensive line, I heard really good things about Drake May.
Yep.
One of the things I like to do is listen to opposing coverage sometimes.
Yep.
And, during these joint practices, and one of the guys, Andrew Kramer on the Minnesota side,
yep,
said that Drake looks better against the Minnesota defense than JJ had. So yeah. I think that's something to take away.
And listen, Randy, I'm glad that's your approach because, I hope none of the writers think I'm giving them crap about it, but all we can do unless you go down there, and we're not in Minnesota, so all we can give is really our take on what the reporting, right? So if you are listening to other teams, so that's my whole thing is the jury's still out for me. I think the McDaniels offense works when you can pick it up. I think it's difficult for people to pick up, clearly, right, at other stops and with the Raiders and elsewhere. So I'm just saying maybe Drake has the mental makeup to do it. I just think it's asking a lot. But everything we're hearing, because we can only depend on the reporting from each side, right? Different opponents, et cetera. It's good. So I at least value that because, you're hearing it from maybe not the local media.
Yeah. And I think sometimes when you hear the reporting, it can get a little redundant between, everybody kind of gets locked into a little bit of a groupthink about things. And then B, people can get kind of locked into their own takes. So it's nice to hear that,
exactly,
fresh opposition research, if you will.
Yeah. And again, people think I'm an offensive coordinator hater. I'll admit it. But you have to understand, I never liked any of the people they brought in. I sniffed out Bill O'Brien. That was suspect. I felt that last year Van Pelt really was a quarterback coach, not an offensive coordinator. So I don't like the McDaniels thing because it's too comfortable, and I don't know how he works with a guy with this skill set. So we'll find out. Maybe it is the perfect fit, and they have the right guy for it. All I'm going to say is McDaniels hasn't found the right guy besides Brady.
Yeah, that's fair. But listen, you give a guy with that sort of track record of success more tools in the box, and it's probably not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing. It just didn't work with Derek Carr and Sam Bradford and some other big-time quarterbacks as well. Appreciate the call, Randy. Thanks, buddy. Just going by the reporting. It's all I can do. Reporting. I can take away from here. All I got is the reporting. All right, let's get into a little bit of Red Sox. Something happened last night that I wanted to speak on when it came to the team. And I want to pose the question to Skaz because I don't think I got his answer last night. What was the biggest issue last night? Was it the pitching, the hitting, or the manager? I want to get into that coming up here on the other side. I'm Joe Murray. We're here until 11 o'clock tonight here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, the Patriots today had joint practices with the Vikings, and while the defense struggled, J.J. McCarthy had a really good day, threw 3 touchdowns. The offensive line struggled 5 times. Drake May. So I called my friends over at Burn Hedges down the road, and I said, hey, I want pizza. And he goes, hey, Joe, I made this special pizza. It's a extra thin crust New York style. And I went, I've never heard of it. So I got in the car, and I could smell it. And I'm like, I think I gotta eat this thing. Dude, imagine pizza on pita chips. That's how soft it was. I couldn't stop eating it in the car. Yeah, has that ever happened to anybody where you can't stop? This is why I could never be a dasher. Like somebody who picks up food for money. I couldn't do that. I'd smell the food and I'd be like, nope. But anyways, there is food in the building. We're here till 11 o'clock tonight at 617-779-0985. I wanted to get into last night's Red Sox game. Hey, they got a decent performance from Walker Buehler, but 4 walks, 2 home runs, it's not going to do it for him. What else isn't going to do it for him is scoring 1 run. And I wish, again, that I knew last night when a team scores 14 runs one night, always fade them the next night in betting. We could have made millions. And I dropped the ball. The Red Sox have 40 games remaining. 24 of them are against teams under 500. 13 teams are current playoff teams that they'll play out of those 40. It's considered the 7th easiest remaining schedule in baseball. But the Joe Murray research team came up with this one, Skaz. This is the one I got to get out of. I got to get this one off my chest. This one came over today, and I couldn't believe it, but I looked it up. When the Red Sox don't score at least 10 runs, do you know their record this year is 47-56? And we'll get into the sign stealing stuff and all the blowout wins and whatever. But I wanted to look up what some of the other teams were and what their record was when they don't score at least 10 runs. So why don't we take a look at the Yankees? Well, they're 49-56 when they don't score 10 runs. But they're 15-1 when they do. So just wanted to throw that one out there. Some of the teams that they have scored 10 runs against. 4 against the A's, Orioles, Braves, Pirates, Rockies, Marlins. The Red Sox are 19-0 when scoring 10 runs or more. Can you believe that? These are the teams they beat by 10 runs or more. Orioles, Angels, Twins, White Sox, Reds, Cardinals, Nationals, Rockies, twice. All of them. How about the Blue Jays? They're a good team, right? First place. The Blue Jays are 59-51 when they don't score 10 runs. But when they do, they're 11-0. They have 3 wins versus the Rockies, 2 versus the A's, and 1 versus the Cardinals. So of those 3 teams, I would say the Blue Jays run differential and, key game categories, they're the better team of the 3. And it shows it in the standings. So I ask you, Skaz, last night, what was the biggest issue in the game? Was it Walker Buehler? Was it scoring 1 run by the offense? Or was it Alex Cora managing the game?
I think for me, the offense was probably, scoring 1 run, you're not going to win a ton of games there. I do think Walker Buehler, he left him in a little too long. But I would say the offense, if I had to pick one of the 3.
Based off the numbers, probably shows, right? If they score 10, they're 19-0. When they don't, they're under 500.
How many teams have a losing record when they score 10 runs, though?
Well, they're undefeated.
Well, yeah, but I bet you more than half the league probably is.
Well, I just looked up 3 teams, though. Want me to do the rest?
The Cubs are 17-0. The Giants are 7-0. The Phillies are 9-0. The Cardinals are 7-0. The Red Sox are 19-0. The White Sox are 8-0.
Okay, so the blueprint for the Red Sox is score runs, and you won't lose. Which would go to you saying the offense was the biggest issue. Okay. I think Walker Buehler giving up 2 home runs and walking people, 4 walks, although he kept them in the game, killed him. Killed him. They have been better late in games of late, the Red Sox. Now, where does Alex Cora fit on that list for you?
Yeah, I think Alex Cora left Buehler in too long. I think he's had a problem, I don't think he's been great in game this year at times. He's had some really good games. There was a Saturday game, it might have been not this past weekend, but the one before where I thought Cora was really good. But
how about the last week?
Yeah.
Giolito was in too late, right?
Yeah, I think he struggles leaving pitchers in too long at times. I think that's one of Cora's bigger flaws.
It's cost him at least 2 games this road trip, right? Would they win 2 games? So just wanted to bring that up. What was the issue last night? Mark, you are in Florida. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, Joe. If you could give me a second here. Look, Jarren Duran is not a number 3 hitter on a contending team. I think they should have traded him for Cease. You get your number 2 starter and then trade for Yandy Diaz and have a real number 3 hitter in your lineup. And they did neither of those. The offense, to me, stinks after Bregman. And I don't think they're going to fix it in the offseason because they're not going to spend on big contracts. In fact, I think they might lose Bregman, which scares me.
Mark, I brought this up last night, and I got pushback on it. Do you think the Red Sox have middle-of-the-lineup hitters?
They do not.
I agree. And listen, I did not like originally the Roman Anthony batting leadoff. But dude, he's putting up incredible numbers. How can you hate it at this point, right?
Yeah, and if you look, who's batted 4th all year? Narvaez,
Yep.
Story.
Yep.
I mean, Romy Gonzalez, Toro have hit 4th at times. That's not a Boston Red Sox team that's accustomed to David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez, and guys of that ilk.
Yep. Ilk. No, I agree with you. This team, people don't like hearing this, Mark. But they did not improve with the Devers trade. It is addition by subtraction, no doubt about it. But they are missing that bat. Although he did bat, second and third at times. They don't have a middle-of-the-lineup guy. And I think it's Roman Anthony. And I think you could put potentially Bregman at 3 or 4 or flip him. And maybe Duran is a leadoff hitter. I don't know. Like at this point, all I know is they don't have a middle-of-the-lineup hitter.
They do not. And if they do not upgrade there, it's going to be another middle season. And think about this. That lineup is so bad. And you go into the playoffs, if they get there, you're going to have to face a number 1 and 2 starter that those kind of pitchers have absolutely stifled the Red Sox. Cease dominated them. I mean, Zach Wheeler, they didn't touch him. Christopher Sanchez, they didn't touch him. Those kind of guys, they don't score runs. Hunter Brown yesterday. So you're going to take that lineup into the playoffs with absolutely zero shot of I don't think they can win a game if Crochet's not pitching.
Well, now that's another thing to worry about, right?
Yeah, it's embarrassing to me that that's the lineup they run out there. And they're 13th in payroll. The Boston Red Sox, when they were winning World Series, were a top 5 payroll team. This is not fair to the fans. Sam Kennedy, stop telling people that you haven't changed your philosophy. You have. It's obvious. It's in the numbers.
Tell him to go get a shine. Thank you. Go tell him to go to Shine Box. That's what he is. He likes to shine up the turd really well. I don't know Sam Kennedy. Sam, Sam, you want to come by and have some pizza with me and Skaz? Come on down, man. But I want to talk to you about, not about like what we're doing this and that. I don't care what you're doing. What are you going to do? That's what I care about. And what do you do? Like, you shine the shoes of the Red Sox. Shinebox Sam. Can we run with that one, guys? Shinebox Sam? Just keep shining those shoes. Because when you start making moves, you can come at me and say, not sure if you heard, but I'm not shining shoes no more. And then I can have some respect. Until then, he's no Billy Bats. He's Sammy Bats. Shoe shine Sammy. All right, well, why don't we just keep going? Dalton's in Dedham. Dalton.
Hey, guys. How we doing?
How you doing, bud?
Hey, so I'm just, I was disappointed over the series with the Padres and the Astros. I mean, we came up short. but you really did see how really deep the Padres bullpen is. They're going for it, and that's what the Red Sox missed out on, and possibly where they're going to miss out on the playoffs is having those back in the end arms. But I'm not too worried about their offense because I really do like the platoon with Romy Gonzalez and Toro. Yoshida's back. I mean, listen, this is what we have. We have to work with it, and Alex Cora has been pretty good. Roman Anthony has been on a historical run, but we just got to get the best out of our players right now. But I'm right now. I was very impressed with Dustin May the other night. I thought he was nails, and that kid gave me something to believe in when it came into at least our five in the back.
Well, Dalton,
and we're going to get Kyle Harrison in the playoffs.
Dalton, can I want to pump the brakes for you for a minute here.
Yep, yeah, I got you, Joe.
They scored 14 runs with Dustin May.
Yeah, Joe, but hey, he was in there. He was pumping the strike zone, and he was making us look good. That's all I'm saying, Joe.
No, I get you, but like it's easy to do that when your team's scoring runs.
Well, let's see in about you said 40 games left, Joe. Let's see what the Red Sox are made of.
And I want you to know, like, Toro's struggling. He's horrible right now. He's actually like the worst position hitter in baseball. Romy Gonzalez's numbers are going down. Ceddanne Rafaela's numbers are going down. Like, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just speaking truth.
Hey, Joe, I like the way you're thinking, but you know what? Their bats are going to get hot again. I have a feeling,
you know what,
Joe,
Dalton?
going to the postseason.
You know what it is you're a believer, right? You believe in the team.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's
do it, Joe.
Let's go. Thank you. Shoeshine Sammy. Oh, I love that one. Maybe we can get some production and everything, huh? Hey, it's Sammy. This guy shined the best shoes on the block. You go home and get your shine box. All right, well, we'll take a break. Too many Goodfellas references in 1 hour, huh, guys? Well, the Patriots. I just read an article from a reporter down in Minnesota who is talking about one Stefon Diggs who made his return to Minnesota, and well, Diana Rossini had a chance to sit with him, and he even gave away some thoughts on potentially being ready week 1, and Mike Vrabel followed up on it. So we'll do some Stefon Diggs talk coming up next. I'm Joe Murray, and again, this hour of the Sports Hub is brought to you by our good friends, and they are our good friends. And they're over at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com to save 15% off your next drive-through oil change. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm Joe Murray. More next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
plus the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Patriots and Vikings had joint practices today. The defense struggled against J.J. McCarthy, who threw three touchdown passes. The offensive line also struggled and had its issues. Will Campbell gave up 3 sacks. Drake May overall, though, went 10 for 13 through 5 touchdowns on the day, but again, was sacked those 5 times. The teams play again this Saturday. 1 p.m. kickoff. We'll have all the coverage beginning at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. Red Sox are off tonight. They host Miami tomorrow. Lucas Giolito will get the start. And the Celtics, their season has been released today. The opening night against the 76ers will be on Wednesday night, October 22nd. Libras everywhere are happy. Headlines, they are brought to you by Celsius Energy Drinks. Refresh your energy with zero sugar essential vitamins and proven ingredients. I'm Joe Murray.
If you've got the app, you've got Toucher and Hardy to wake you up no matter where you are.
Or who may or may not have been to jail.
Get the app. The 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
How was that, Nate? How you feel? Like where are we at?
We'll
like
see.
I've been hearing that you push too much.
Yeah,
I've been hearing that you're trying to perform more than be smart about what to do here.
I heard that too, man. We'll
this
see,
is Scoop
man.
City.
You know,
I get all
everybody's excited, man. I'm just like taking it day by day.
Yeah.
I feel great. I mean, I'm pushing the needle always. I'm always on doing more than less, and we'll see about week 1. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. We'll see. Coaches aren't too excited. I'm not too excited. I'm just trying to take it day by day. So we'll see, man. It looks like we just don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, there's a chance, but you just got to get through camp, right?
100%.
That's the goal as the team right now.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. I feel like you're really trying to tell me something, and I'm really bad at reading the signs.
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I would like it if maybe they could send us guests. Like, hey, Joe and Skaz, you guys are going to go to camp and you're just going to interview everybody. Because I got to tell you, Kay Adams was great.
You want to go to Minnesota, Joe?
Again, what do I do in Minnesota? What would I do in Minnesota? Oh, the Twins game's tonight, right? Should I text Doug and Andrew Callahan?
Yeah, maybe Joe Ryan's pitching.
Oh, that's true. They did give us an assist today, though. I got to give them credit for that. We got Max Cerullo coming on later on tonight from the Herald, talk a little baseball. I thank him for that very, very much. And at some point, I'll probably need to recontact him to know how to contact him. So that should be great. Anyways, Stefon Diggs pushes too hard. Scoops are he pushes too hard. He's pushing too hard. He's driving the needle. Is that what he said? Driving the needle. So that was what he said this morning. And then I believe Karen Guregian had a similar question for Mike Vrabel. And I believe this could have been yesterday because there was a interesting exchange later on today. But let's hear Vrabel on Stefon Diggs.
I think the same thing that goes into most every decision, that we just try to communicate with the staff and the personnel staff and training staff and see where we are with the player and how much work he's getting in practice. And I think that volume's good, and being able to come back and have a good day in the red zone. Just trying to track what this may look like in the season for veteran players that we have. I think good experience with, just in the end, trying to get each player exactly what they need to be ready for the season. And then also, once you get into the season, where things are at week to week.
Okay. Week to week, day to day, whatever.
Not a whole lot there.
No, that was like a Belichick answer. But, we didn't really get into this yesterday, Scaz, but Todd Downing had some interesting comments yesterday regarding the improvement of Diggs, right? And Diggs has given his own assessment, as he said to Diana Rossini, and, there's gathering smoke. This was from Tommy Curran hovering around the veteran receiver. And, is it a potential issue that maybe he's, doing a little too much? So maybe that's what they're inferring to. But I just wanted to read this headline without really reading the article because I like to do that sometimes. Phil Perry today, NBC Sports. Oh, this is actually from Michael Hurley, but Perry. Stefon Diggs doesn't look like a number one receiver anymore. Perry notes that Stefon Diggs might be a budding issue for the Patriots. Interesting. Why that, sir? And there was an interesting exchange. Now, we play all the Vrabel press conferences, right? I heard this. I caught this. And I wanted to hear the exchange between Phil Perry and Mike Vrabel. Why don't you play that one for us, guys?
Mike Stefon made some comments yesterday about how he's not sure about his readiness for week one.
Did you really believe that, Phil? I mean, you're a smart guy. I don't know where you went to school. It wasn't Ohio State, but do you really believe that? Did you really believe that, Phil, or are you just trying to bait me into something?
I'm not baiting you.
Okay.
He did say he wasn't sure he'd be ready for week one. 30 down in your mind.
I don't know the context in which he said it, but you'd have to help me. I mean, he's been out here almost every day. I'm excited to where he's at, and we'll see when week one comes. But he's going to practice today. Hopefully he helps us in the red zone. But we can't predict the future about week one. I just know he's going to be out there today. And he works hard and, he cares, which are two important things.
That was testy, huh? You didn't think so? It was better than the last one.
He's certainly a little more substance there.
Could you begin that one more time? I just wanted to hear. Was Vrabel triggered? What happened here?
Mike Stefon made some comments yesterday about how he's not sure about his readiness for week one.
Did you really believe that, Phil? I mean, you're a smart guy. I don't know where you went to school. It wasn't Ohio State, but do you really believe that? Did you really believe that, Phil, or are you just trying to bait me into something?
I'm not baiting you.
Okay.
He did say he wasn't sure he'd be ready for week one. 30 down in your mind.
I don't know the context in which he said it, but you'd have to help me. I mean, he's been out here almost every day. I'm excited to where he's at, and we'll see when week one comes. But he's going to practice today. Hopefully he helps us in the red zone. But we can't predict the future about week one. I just know he's going to be out there today. And he works hard and, he cares, which are two important things.
Well, we all know he cares. So, again, Skaz, that just want to let you know, you played them all in order, right? Stefon Diggs on television, Karen asking Vrabel. Then the next day it's, hey, what's going on here, Mike? Is Stefon Diggs going to be ready for week one? A little bit of chippy back and forth. And then I go to NBC Sports Boston, and I see a headline, Stefon Diggs doesn't look like a number one receiver anymore. Smell that, Seth? Doesn't smell right to me. What's going on there? What is going on there? Is Stefon Diggs ready or not? He wasn't on the PUP list.
It certainly sounds like Mike Vrabel expects him and wants him to be ready week one. That's what I take away from that.
But the Downing and other people are saying he's pushing too hard. Maybe he's even said it. Yeah, I like to push the needle. I mean, everything that I've seen, and again, haven't been down there. I didn't get a T-shirt this year that says I've been there. All we can do is go off the reporting and the videos that we see. He looks elite, doesn't he? Have you seen, again, I hit a drop yesterday in the red zone. That wasn't great. But have you seen anything where he looks slow or washed and again, we haven't seen him in pad jet or in the field or whatever. But is he pushing to be week one? Is Vrabel saying, hey, because Vrabel did kind of say, hey, he's at practice today. And he's done everything to be there. So are you baiting me? Like it was a little tension there.
Yeah, when Vrabel says he's at practice, he's working hard, he's out there every day, he's going to be out there today. To me, that's him saying, well, I don't know, if you're out there practicing every day and you're going hard at practice every day, shouldn't you be ready for week one?
I hope so. I keep thinking about the wide receiving core. I feel like they're going to be a run-first team, guys.
Isn't that probably for the best, at least to start?
Well, probably, right? Probably. But isn't this why, you and I wanted some sort of offensive-minded coach, right?
Yes.
So now they're going to be a run-first team. And potentially could be maybe their star receiver doesn't start the season. Listen, it would be historic if Stefon Diggs was there week 1, right? Like, how can anybody actually say he's going to be ready? And in a way, I kind of defend Vrabel on this. I love Phil Perry. But I kind of defend Vrabel on this as, he's out here today. He's going to be out there tomorrow. And then he's going to be out there again. And we just hope he's there. Nobody can predict. Again, we looked it up. Adrian Peterson came back in a year, right? Rod Woodson got hurt, came back by a Super Bowl. What Stefon Diggs is doing is unheard of. I mentioned Kendrick Bourne. He got hurt on Halloween a year ago. He's back on Halloween the next year. Just to expect this guy to be back on week 1, I do think that maybe we are a little ahead of ourselves. I understand everybody's really excited, right? But you just said, wouldn't it probably be in their best interest to maybe be a run team first early on? This is why I'm starting to think about, are they really going to carry 7 receivers? Because if they are going to run the ball, do they need that many? And then the other thing is, if Diggs isn't ready to go, do they have to carry guys? This is somewhat of an interesting conversation, and most of the drama this whole offseason has been about Stefon Diggs. Does he just bring that? Because I am excited for him.
He's good for content.
He's damn good for content. But that was a good little back and forth there. Are you trying to bait me? You're smarter than that. I know you didn't go to Ohio State.
A bastion of academic integrity there, Ohio State. No issues over there. None.
It's funny that you said that because I was about to say, dude, that's what Bill Parcells used to do. Bill Parcells they'd be like, hey, how's Terry Glenn look? And he'd be like, she's doing all right.
Let's just hope Mike Vrabel doesn't quit on the team if they ever make it to the Super Bowl. Hopefully he's better than a 500 head coach, too. We can hope. You get into the Hall of Fame, though, if you do those two things. So,
well, Seaside Transport in our chat says that this is a boring conversation, guys. But don't you think it's important to know?
Well, I like that he says that it's boring, but the team is fighting for 8 or 9 wins. Like, don't you think having potentially the best player on your offense out there, outside the quarterback, might matter in the first 4 weeks if you're fighting for 8 or 9 wins? Call me crazy.
Like, I don't know. If you're going to be good, isn't Stefon Diggs going to help you?
I would prefer Stefon Diggs playing football than not playing football.
Do I have to perform the exercise again?
Stefon Diggs better on the field than off the field, I would hope.
Stefon Diggs in 8, Skaz. Here we go. Stefon Diggs played 8 games last year, Skaz. 8, right? In the 8 games that he played, he put up better numbers than all of the Patriots receivers in 17 games.
So you're telling me the Patriots receivers not very good last year.
I just want to let you know that for anybody that doesn't understand the importance of Stefon Diggs, you're out of your minds.
Yeah, for a team
it's boring.
That's won 4 games the last 2 years in a row, better players on the field, I would take as a good thing.
Dude, what's the last couple of days? All I've done, Skaz, is go by the reporting because I wasn't there. Last night we had 2 guys that were there on the field. Tonight I couldn't get anybody.
Where else are you going to get that? Where else are you going to get Andrew Callahan and Doug Kyde both?
I don't know.
It's not happening.
Didn't work today, unfortunately. I couldn't find anybody. They were busy. They were at the mall and getting their Auntie Anne's and getting their Cinnabon, right? What else is at the mall these days? You can't even remember what's at a mall anymore. Is Johnny Rocket still at a mall? Do they have like a place where they got that like crazy the drinks,
You're going to get like some Sarku Japan.
Oh my God, I love Sarku Japan. Extra sauce, extra chicken, baby. Oh, I love it. That's a mall staple. Oh. There's still one at the Cambridge Side Galleria for those that are wondering. Hey, Carrie Ann in Seattle who's listening, she's with her kids. Shout out to Carrie Ann in Seattle.
P1.
Shout out to your kids. What's for dinner? You getting them Happy Meals or what? What would be the Happy Meal toy of the summer right now? Because remember growing up, well, I don't know, I'm a little older than you, but growing up, man, we had a murderer's row of great toys. We had Jurassic Park. We had Batman Forever.
I think it would have to be like Superman or like
Superman
the Fantastic Four or something like that. Some movie that just came out.
The new Superman would probably be it, yeah. Oh, a Happy Gilmore toy would be cool.
There you go. I think Subway, did some like novelty cups or something for that.
Yeah, and then in 1992, because I was 10, they had the Dream Team cups.
You still got any?
I don't know, but you know who I always got, and it pissed me off?
Leitner
and Patrick Ewing.
A local guy.
Yeah, local guy, yeah. Local guy, yeah. Yeah, went to Cambridge Range, I know that. Does that make him local?
Directionally correct.
Yeah. You know who I wanted? Larry Bird. I wanted Magic Johnson. And I wanted Michael Jordan. David Robinson.
Charles
Barkley. I had a Charles Barkley Sons jersey, and they went to the finals, and he won the MVP, but they lost to Jordan. Anyways. All right, well, I want my Dream Team cups back. If you have a Dream Team cup, I'd like to know. Send them at me. At Joey Murr. Guys, these things, man. Oh, yeah, you would have went to McDonald's all the time for these. The Jurassic Park was great, too. If you got do they still supersize? Is that still a thing? The supersize would have a big T-Rex dinosaur. I feel like I need to look that up. All right, we got to go to break. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Dream Team Cups. 1992 Dream Team McDonald's Cups. 1992 McDonald's Dream Team Cups. And somebody in our chat said I always got the John Stockton. That's right. He was a part of that team. Wow, you can buy the whole set on eBay right now for $49.99. Scottie Pippen. Would you do this, guys? I do it. No one's going to buy them. It would be a collector's item. But, there's a Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, John Stockton, Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen, Christian Laettner. Why can't I see these other two guys? I feel like I'm missing two people from that team. Who am I missing? Stockton? Oh, Stockton's one of them.
Chris Mullin?
Chris Mullin. There you go. Done. That's everybody. There's the whole set. $49.99 right now on eBay.
I think I'm good on 30-year-old McDonald's cups, but I understand the vintage.
Oh, that's a
collection.
nostalgia right there, man. And again, someone on Twitter, I'm going to retweet this. Oh, Jeff, our Jeff who listens every night. Over the years, I had to hunt down some of these guys. These were the GOAT Happy Meal toys. He also has Hasbro Wrestling, which if you follow at Joey Hasbro, I have every Hasbro wrestling wrestler from 89 to 2018, I think, or 19. Man, look at those old... I'm going to share this bad boy. You know, what would be a version of a sad meal these days? You know, like a Happy Meal. It came with small and came in a nice little pouch. What would be like the sad meal? Let's think about that throughout the night. I wonder if Street Team Joe has a sad meal. Like he's sad and he's like, yeah, I'm just going to get this. Anyway, 617-779-0985. I don't want to be the guy that makes something out of Stefon Diggs, but the Patriots need him. Like, they need him. He needs them, too, to get paid. He already passed his physical, so he's got some money. But, like, the Patriots have been horrible when it comes to their wide receiving core, drafting, etc. Diggs makes everybody better. He'll make Drake May better, but he's had issues elsewhere. For the most part, every coach has come out and said on the football field he's absolutely outstanding, and I agree with that. And, you know, it's funny that they're going up against the Minnesota Vikings because that's his old team. But, you know, we don't have to play it, Skaz, but there was an old bit that they did for the Minnesota Vikings, which was like, which player on the team would you not want to date your sister? And what did the Vikings say, Skaz?
It was near unanimous, Stefon Diggs.
And who's he date now? Or did date? Or potentially is dating?
Cardi B?
That's correct. So it's just funny. So I believe, I didn't watch it, so we can't play it. I didn't read it. I didn't see it. But I believe Diana Rossini, was that who it was? Diana Rossini? Goes, hey, so do you want to, you got any receipts that you want to send back to anybody? I didn't listen to it. But I do like that probably made its rounds today. By the way, he was torching everybody. Jeff Okuda, boom, got smoked. Smoked. What was I going to do here? I feel like we had something planned. Oh, you know what else I wanted to mention? This is just something Burt Breer floated out there. And when I saw it, I went, okay. All they did was they asked Burt Breer, hey, what do you think a trade for Terry McLaurin would look like for the Patriots? And he said Stefon Diggs and a second-round pick. Now, he didn't say it as like, hey, they should trade Stefon Diggs and a second-round pick for McLaurin. They just asked him, hey, what do you think a potential trade could look like? Would you do that deal, Skaz? Because I would.
Probably.
Now, I do like the fact that he's been in camp and Drake's been working with him, and I'd hate to make that trade.
Yeah, McLaurin hasn't worked out at all with the team. I don't like that. And maybe that's, being a little, over the top, but he's there every day. Like, I see him on the sidelines talking to Jaden Daniels, but he's showing up, but he's just not working with the team.
And that hasn't worked for, like, look at Jamar Chase last year, right?
Bengals started slow.
But he put his laces on and didn't practice all camp. He put his laces on. I give him credit for it. But they lost, right? And they missed the playoffs because of it. Just wanted to stress that one out there. 617-779-0985. Mike's in Hull. Mike.
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
How you doing, bud?
Hey, I'm doing outstanding. So, I called you the other day, so I'm Seaside Transport in the chat. So, that was my first time call anyway. So this is second time, long time listener. So, I respect you, love you, Joe. You're the man. I said the topic was boring, but that's only, remember the AFC Championship was the Tom Brady Invitational, Joe, and here we are talking about Diggs coming back. But if he came back from that injury, Joe, that's huge week one,
Did we lose him? Mike? Oh, that was him in the chat? I actually didn't hear a word he said. No, I was listening, though. Were you?
I was listening.
I would say I listened, but I didn't comprehend. Is that a Joe problem?
You didn't digest it?
No, I was. Like, does that ever happen to you in life?
Of course, constantly.
I was listening.
Yeah.
I just didn't comprehend anything.
I think he was saying that like we've gone from Tom Brady. The AFC Championship game used to be the Tom Brady Invitational where they walked into it every year, and now we're stuck talking about is Stefon Diggs going to be ready for week one? And I get it. Is that it's much more interesting when your team basically walks to the Super Bowl every year, but the Patriots are not that team anymore, and you are now a football team that's going to rely on guys like Stefon Diggs who you're not 100% sure you can rely on. I think that's interesting.
Did he call about a haunted place in Hull?
That I don't know.
You've been in Nantasket Beach, right?
I have, yes.
I think the
carousel.
Oh, that's gone now.
Is it gone? No, it shows how long it's been.
The Dream Machine's gone too.
A little arcade over there too. Is that gone?
That was the best thing ever. I could on a Saturday, dude. I could hang out there till 8 o'clock at night and get there at like 9 in the morning.
My grandfather lived like a block away, so I used to hang out on Nantasket Beach all the time, just going carousel, arcade, all that stuff.
No, you could be a kid down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you just get dropped. All right, we'll see ya. Like grandfather gives you a couple bucks, right? Oh, and you could always get like an ice cream cone or a swirl. When I got a little bit older, it was the Red Parrot. You ever been to the Red Parrot?
I'm familiar.
Oh, Jesus. Where have again, I'm wondering if that was a me problem. I couldn't understand what he was saying, I think. But you know what, though? I've worked here for 14 years. 14, all right? I used to do shows where we would bitch about Brady not being at voluntary workouts. So forget about the AFC Invitational, okay? Imagine in the summer doing shows because Tom Brady decided to go diving with his family when he didn't have to be there. But people would be like, oh, he's famous now. He's not doing what's best for the team anymore. How do you all feel about that now? How stupid was that? It was so dumb. Dumb. Because why? Brady would show up when it mattered. He'd show up at every big game. And as Robert Kraft said last week at the statue enshrining, unveiling, Tom Brady was a feeling. He was a feeling. You felt like he could just show up and win. You felt like he was going to get you to the AFC Championship every year. This year, I don't feel good about Stefon Diggs. How about that? I don't feel good about Stefon Diggs starting week one. I don't feel good about Drake May making all the calls at the line. I don't feel good about Josh McDaniels. I don't feel good about anything, the defense, you name it. Am I supposed to feel good? Since we're talking about feelings, how do you feel? You know, Colin Cowherd feels like they're a playoff team. Do you know that? Let's talk about that coming up on the other side. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
I can see me on the YouTube chat, and my arms are everywhere, and I'm yelling, and I didn't mean to. don't feel good about this team. I don't know why. A lot of questions.
final big tweak, my NFL predictions. We start in the AFC, and most of what I am predicting will stay the same. AFC East, Bills are going to win it. Patriots are my most improved team in the NFL, will be a wild card team. They've had a very good camp. Dolphins, coming out now, as we predicted, the culture, the accountability, Mike McDaniel saying it must improve. We said that, and we got nothing but you-know-what from Dolphin fans. The coach says it, and everybody says, well, of course. The Jets, I just structurally, I have no idea. They're fourth.
Every week that I think is decent, right? At least I watch. He can't get them all right, but he has some good weeks too. And I believe he used to have some pretty good analysts, like betting analysts with him. Was Chris Felico? I'm trying to remember who was with him. Anyways, but he has the Bills winning the AFC East. I think everyone does. I do too. And he has the Patriots second. He had the Jets fourth. Miami, dude, I don't. I'll say this right now. Miami doesn't look good, and McDaniel might be on the hot seat. So I'll say that now, but I still think that they can beat the Patriots. So I'm going to just wait on that one a little bit there. So Colin Cowherd has the Patriots as a playoff team. Considering everything that we discussed today, that, I don't know. Again, we used to complain about Tom Brady not showing up to voluntary workouts. And now I'm afraid of everything. He goes on, Skaz, though, right? Colin Cowherd. He goes on to talk about the rest of the AFC and where they seated. Let's hear more from Colin Cowherd.
I think they're not going to go 11-0 in one-score games. So Bills, Ravens, Texans, Broncos now winning their divisions. Patriots, Bengals, Chiefs are playoff teams. Patriots, Bengals, new playoff teams.
Patriots, Bengals. That means the Chiefs would be out, right, Skaz? Is that what that means? So you're telling me that somebody also thinks that the Chiefs aren't making the playoffs?
He has the Chiefs as his third wildcard team. So he has your division winners as Bills, Ravens.
They need a wide receiver. This is supposed to be a really big year for Harbaugh and Herbert. I don't know, Skaz. The Chargers have to be better than the Patriots. We saw it last year.
The Broncos are going to win the AFC West?
I think I really liked what I saw from Bo. But again, Bo Nix might hit a ceiling. You never know.
That's my thing with Bo Nix, is I think he's close to what he's going to be. Like he came into the league, I don't want to say as a ready product, but closer to his ceiling than I think a lot of other players did.
Coach there's got it together, though.
Yeah, and Bo Nix played 400 games in college, it felt like.
Yep. Don't love the coach, but he's done well.
And they have maybe, a top 2 or 3 top to bottom roster in the league.
Absolutely.
The Eagles,
and
the Vikings you could put up there, but the Broncos have, top 3 defense in the league, and if they can score some points.
Okay. Pittsburgh or the Patriots? Be honest. I know the Rodgers things.
The Patriots.
So right now you would take the Patriots over Pittsburgh?
Yes. I think that division's much tougher, and I'm not a believer in Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely the division. Take Aaron Rodgers out of it, the division is a big problem.
Yeah, you're going to face the Bengals and the Ravens twice, and who knows who's playing quarterback for the Browns, but those games are always kind of a slugfest.
I don't know who will be the quarterback.
Flacco, Sanders, who knows? Dylan Gabriel.
I just wanted to look it up. Okay, Mason Rudolph is the backup, followed by Will Howard of Ohio State, right? Won the national championship. Oh, Skylar Thompson's there too. Man, it could be. Could Mason Rudolph get the Steelers to the playoffs?
No.
Mason Rudolph did beat the Patriots last year.
Most teams, most quarterbacks did beat the Patriots last year.
Could there be a team we're not talking about? Okay, so on paper, it looks like the Patriots have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs. But are they the second best team in the AFC East? That's still open out there. Who could be a surprise team from the AFC? We already mentioned Pittsburgh, but their division's hard. Could the Colts or Jags or Titans? Raiders I'm out on. Tennessee, I'm out on.
Not a Cam Ward guy?
Just too much going on there. They don't have enough weapons. Ooh, wow. So you're really down to the Dolphins, Jets, Steelers?
The Dolphins are going to be bad. The Jets, I think, are going to be bad. The Jags?
Colts, Jags, but new coach, but, he's done
Duval.
wonders. He's done wonders, though, right? Will Levis in college, he was, look what he did with the Rams, right? Just the Chargers is my team, guys. I have the Chargers ahead of the Patriots. But that's it for the Patriots, though, right? They have to be better than the Dolphins and Steelers to have a chance. And they lost to the Jaguars last year, right? Or was that 2 years ago, the London? Can't remember anymore. All my years are really just those. The Mac Jones era did a lot to me, guys. I told you, the worst quarterback class ever, especially if you bought cards from that class. Deshaun's in Virginia. How you doing, bud?
Hello, Joe. How's it going?
It's a tough day for the offensive lineman, man.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about. I want to double down on. See, a lot of people would talk about how hard, the Patriots' schedule is going to, as far as how hard it's going to be as far as them possibly winning more games or beating some of the teams in the division. But the main reason why the Patriots' season may really implode for real is just the offensive line. Just say hypothetically they actually had a really good offensive line. All these teams that you guys mentioned that I think is truly overrated. I think the Bengals overrated. I think the Browns overrated because you have to look at a lot of these teams. A lot of these teams don't really have really good quarterbacks at all. And so you see they only have one, good true receiver or whatever. And some teams have two. But if you actually look at it, the Patriots actually had a really good offensive line or a pretty good offensive line, we wouldn't be having this discussion because I think roster-wise they can handle whoever's on their schedule, especially defensively. So it's just the offensive line that may implode this season if they don't get their act together.
You got it, man. Appreciate you. Sorry, I didn't mean to hang up. You're right. Everything out of camp today was Drake May picked up everything. And when it was protected well and the receivers could get open, they made plays. When they didn't, it was bad. So that's all I got on reporting. So, yeah, if they block well and the receivers get open, they'll be pretty good, What could go wrong? Well, you know what we got next, guys? And we're on time tonight. Look at this. We got in or out. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
More Joe Murray coming.
I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is... how about, I don't know, Kobe Bryant?
There's definitely a Kobe one.
Okay.
There are currently 7 statues honoring Los Angeles Lakers legends at Star Plaza outside Crypto.com Arena. These statues include Kobe Bryant, Chick Hearn, Magic Johnson, Shaq, Kareem, Jerry West, and Elgin Baylor.
Okay. So who would I have, Worthy or Pat Riley? I'd have Pat Riley. Is there anyone you think they're missing? Powell?
Rondo.
AC Green? I'm kidding.
Max is going to be pumped. He's going to be in the building for that. We're going to get some great Cedric Maxwell sound that night.
Oh, I can't wait.
I am looking forward to that.
Our buddy Hooch is listening from Maine right now. On YouTube with his son Jack. Hey, Jack, how you doing, buddy? So, yes, he's informing me that Magic, Shaq, and Kobe all have statues. But, Skaz, I don't really keep receipts on statues. Like, I don't... In my brain, it doesn't really... The statues, like, I remember the rings, right? But I really like the blueberry from Dunks. And it's got rainbow sprinkles.
Yes.
In.
All right.
Which one would I be in on?
Well, here we go. Finally, they do have an extra one. This is the Sorting Hat donut.
Oh.
The Sorting Hat is its very own donut. What makes it special is that each Sorting Hat donut is filled with a mystery house color, effectively sorting you into a house when you bite into it, topped with chocolate frosting, gold stars, and shimmer sugar, they're calling it. Mm-hmm. The Sorting Hat will help you make a decision if you can't choose which house flavor. Joe Murray, are you in or out?
In.
There you go. There is Dunkin' and Krispy Kreme's upcoming menus.
You know what? I would like to have a Harry Potter Dunkin' party. Can we do that?
In.
Okay. I know a guy. Maybe we know a guy. Does this place know a guy? No, but I know the guy that owns the Dunks down the road. I just don't know how to contact him. How would I contact him? Do I just go into the store and say, hey, I know the owner. I want to do it. Or can we just, like, buy the stuff? Like, hey, man, I just want all the Harry Potter donuts. What do you think they'll say?
Hey, it probably comes in a special box or something.
They'll be like, coming right up, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
I want all the Harry Potters. Harry Pothead. Great man. All right, we got the headline here. And, we have more regarding Stefon Diggs. We'll have that next for you on the Sports Hub.
From the Telfair Tire Studios, it's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots and Vikings had joint practices today, and while the defense struggled against J.J. McCarthy, who threw 3 touchdowns on the day, the offensive line also had their issues. Although Drake May did score 5 touchdowns on the day, he was sacked 5 times. Nobody wants that. But you know what? They're going to play a game on Saturday, and you can hear it here on 98.5 The Sports Hub at 1 p.m. this Saturday. The Red Sox are off tonight. They host Miami tomorrow. Lucas Giolito will get the start, and the Celtics schedule has been released. They'll open up on Wednesday night, October 22nd, against Philadelphia. Headlines, they are brought to you by Eastern Mass's leader in drain cleaning and pipelining. Drains by James, Clog Drain. Slow Drain, Clog Drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at Drains by James, drainsbyjames.com. I'm Joe Martin.
Come on, let's face it. Your summer barbecue, it's just training camp for tailgate season. And Patriots Training Camp is where the Sports Hub will be as the team gets ready for a new season with a new coach, Mike Vrabel. Keep it on the Sports Hub, and we'll keep you up to date with all things Patriots. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
That this could turn into an issue.
It's interesting, Tom, because, there are little signs that he's just becoming a bit of a pain in the posterior. I asked Mike Vrabel about those very comments that we just played this morning. And he said, did you really believe that, Phil? Did you really believe those comments? I mean, he's out here. He's doing everything. You seem like a smart guy. Did you really believe that? I said, yeah. I mean, he says he might not be ready for week 1. Do you have any doubt? And he said, I don't know. We'll find out when we get to week 1. But he's out here and he's doing everything. I mean, for Mike Vrabel to sort of have to be his public relations assistant and tell us what he really meant in his commentary to a member of the national media, I don't know if that irks Mike Vrabel or if he's just looking to go back and forth with somebody in the media. But between Downing's comments, between his what I would call sort of quiet performance this camp, Vrabel's comments this morning, and the fact that, Tom, he is not planning, is my understanding, on talking to the local media until he plays in a game. So maybe that'll happen this Saturday. I have my doubts. It all sort of adds up to there's a lot going on with this guy for a guy who doesn't look like a number 1 receiver.
That sounds to me like a reporter that we all respect and know, who will call the game, by the way, this week with Bob Zosi on 98.5 The Sports. That'll be on postgame. We heard the exchange between Phil Perry and Mike Vrabel. Vrabel was testy. All Phil did was do his job. But now Phil says that he's a pain in the posterior. And now he could play this weekend? But yet we don't even know if he'll play week 1? The hell is going on here? So, listen, this is why I'm not going to go there, but I want to. I fairly know Phil well enough, right? We have him on the show. He works here at the station. He is not a guy to ruffle feathers. He is not a guy to make up a story. He is not a clickbait guy. He's a really good dude who cares about his job and reports very well. So, as far as someone like Phil saying this, I'm believing it. I'm believing it. If this was someone else that I didn't know, I would say that this is a reporter trying to make a story or make it a story. So, although he's coming out saying that he's being a little bit of a pain in the ass.
What do you think that means? Because he's out there. He's practicing.
Is he trying too hard? Is he pushing it too much?
Can't they just shut him down? Isn't that on the head coach?
You're right. That's where I'm going with this. Is the issue between... What's the issue? Vrabel Diggs? Is it McDaniels? Is it Downing? Who knows him? Like, what? Who's he being a pain in the ass to?
Well, while we're wildly speculating, Joe, from the audio we've heard tonight and this week, it sounds like Josh McDaniels and Todd Downing have been the ones pushing back on Stefon Diggs, right? They've been the ones that are saying he pushes too hard. We'll see. Mike Vrabel, on the other hand, gave us he's out there. He's practicing. He's going to practice tomorrow. That sounds like maybe hardo Mike Vrabel, which he is, and I don't say that as a negative. I think most football coaches are hardos. That's kind of how they become football coaches, a lot of them. He says Stefon Diggs is practicing. He's out there. To me, that's a guy that's ready to go. Josh McDaniels and Todd Downing, guys who are probably a little more sensitive to their job security, sensitive to how the offense will be perceived. Maybe they're saying, let's not rush Stefon Diggs because we're going to need this guy to be successful throughout the whole season. Pure speculation, just guessing, but based on the audio we've heard today and the reports from camp, it does seem that there's something going on there at least.
Something smells. And let's not forget, is he going to pass his physical, and is the team going to pay him? Could be tough love too, Skess, right? Hey, you did something in the offseason we told you not to do. We need you, but you're on thin ice, buddy. And then he passes physical and he gets his money. But now he's a pain in the ass?
Yeah, I'd like to know more about...
I need more.
Why is he a pain in the ass? Because he's out there, he's practicing.
Yeah. But anytime we've ever heard any pain that he's been great on the field. It's really about him getting the ball, right? I mean, I guess that... I know. We could go back all offseason what everybody said. What I got out of it was, when it comes to football, the guy shows up. Let's do something about baseball talk on the other side here. We've literally had everybody from the Boston Herald on this week. So why don't we talk to Max Cerullo of the Herald and get his thoughts on the baseball and the Red Sox. We'll do that coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way.
right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We've been kicking around everything tonight, literally. Some football stuff. We did some Red Sox earlier. We're looking ahead here at some playoff odds. All that on the table as we're here until 11 o'clock tonight. But, last night's game, after we were here post-game, and I was just wondering who was to blame for that loss. And I'm sure there's probably no wrong answer. But I do want to bring in here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. He's Mac Cerullo. He works for the Boston Herald. And I got to tell you, Mac, last night we had Andrew Callahan on the show. But it just so happens that Doug Kide also is with him in Minnesota. So I had them both on. Not to mention we had Zach Cox on the other night to talk Celtics. So he goes, hey, you should contact Mac Cerullo to have him on the show tonight. So thank you for joining us here on the Sports Hub.
Of course. Hey, great group of guys. Thanks for giving me giving me a shout. I'm happy to talk some Sox.
Yeah, so I asked everybody. Well, last night we reacted to the Red Sox loss. Today I had a chance to digest it, but in the loss from last night, how would you rank the reason for the loss? Would you start with the hitting with one run, Buehler with his 4 walks and home runs, or Alex Cora, the way he managed the game? How would you, at least, if you're going to do a blame pie, who has got the most and the least?
I think you can pretty much just point the finger at Hunter Brown. That's one of the best pitchers in the league. I think, offensively, obviously, you need to get better than one run, but I don't think last night's really a game you need to worry too much about. The Red Sox have played pretty well over the last month and a half, and you're going to get nights like last night where you just run into an awesome pitcher. Who's to blame? The offense. You need to get more than one run. But if I wouldn't lose sleep over last night. That was a great pitcher who pitched a great game, and that's just going to happen from time to time.
Yeah, I could agree with you to the fact that scoring one run, I gave out some numbers earlier, and really, when the Red Sox score 10 runs or more, they're unbeatable. They're 19-0 this year, but they're under 500 in games when they don't do that. So I at least look at it as maybe that is an issue, and it could go back to the middle of their lineup. We know about the Devers trade. We know about the addition by subtraction. But is there an issue in this lineup when it comes to middle-of-the-order bats?
It's hard to say. I think this team has scored a lot of runs. I think what we have here is a situation where they have a lot of younger guys. They have a lot of guys who are in roles that, Romy Gonzalez as an everyday player has been playing great. Abraham Toro is playing, hasn't played as well as he did earlier this season. You could make a case they should have added another bat. Offensively, I do think that they have enough, but I think they're in a situation where it would have probably helped to add a little bit. It's difficult. Yeah, I think this team is good. Like they just need to perform to their potential. That's pretty much where we're at, I think. And for the most part, they have. And they're going to have a stretch coming up now where they've just played 6 playoff teams in the last 8 series since the All-Star break. And over the last 40 games, I believe, I looked it up earlier, I think it's 24 of the last 40 games are against teams that are below 500. So that's going to help. So now from here on out, they need to play well. They need to play to their potential. And if they do, they're going to be playing baseball in October.
Yep, and just to double down on that stat, 24 of their next 40 games are against teams under 500. As you mentioned, 13 are against playoff teams. It is the 7th easiest remaining schedule in baseball. So, they'll see the Tigers at the end of the year. They'll see a couple other teams that they're battling with. But I wanted to just get back to last night. I'm not going to keep harping on it, but, I mentioned that they had trouble scoring runs, and Cora got ejected last night, and I still don't understand why. Maybe you can explain it to me, but just the sign stealing stuff, is it becoming an issue? Are other teams now starting to point to them? Is it becoming frustrating on both sides? And why did Cora get tossed last night?
So he got tossed basically. He explained after the game that he was asking about why a balk wasn't called on that key at bat with Jarren Duran at third. Obviously, if a balk is called, tying run scores. And his explanation was that the umpires got the call right, but that situation had, in the past, they'd asked the pitcher to, announce whether they were going to pitch from the stretch or from the or from the windup, which did not happen. So I think basically his explanation, his words were he wanted to go out to get for them to explain that to him so he knows for the future, and that I guess the umpires didn't appreciate that. I don't know. That was kind of a weird situation, to be honest. He wasn't really happy about it afterwards. He said he wasn't trying to get ejected. It wasn't a rally the troops type of thing. And, his job is to manage the game from the dugout, not from the office. As far as the sign stealing thing goes, that's a completely different conversation. I don't think that had anything to do with the ejection. I'm sure other teams don't like the fact that the Red Sox coaching staff and the team itself is paying attention for that kind of thing. But that's a common practice. Trying to, as long as the way it's not like the Astros thing with the trash cans. That was a totally different type of thing.
Yep. And not to mention, he did say in an interview, hey, what we're doing, it's not the 2017 Houston Astros. And I went, ooh. So, they were going at it a little bit last night, both sides. So I could see a little bit of a frustration there. We're talking with Max Cerullo. Check him out. He's over at the Boston Herald. Continuing on here, let's talk some good things. Roman Anthony's really good. And I didn't realize he's really good as a leadoff hitter and what he does for everybody else. That's why I asked earlier, do they have a middle-of-the-lineup guy? I thought he was the guy, but it's very common in Major League Baseball now where your best hitter is a leadoff man.
Yeah, Shohei leads off for the Dodgers. What Roman has done is really quite extraordinary. I think probably the best thing I can say about Roman is this. The past couple of days, he had back-to-back games with home runs. Before that, he only had 2 home runs the first 40 or so games of his big league career. And yet anybody who's watched him play could agree he's been remarkably productive, getting on base at an incredible rate. He is over 400 OBP for his career so far, or close to it. Putting up, some numbers that we haven't seen since the days of, he's drawn comparisons to Ted Williams in some cases. And despite that, only 2 home runs. And this is a guy who I saw in spring training hit just an absolutely breathtaking home run in in Port Charlotte during the spring breakout game. And, when he was still in AAA, every night it was like, 495 feet, grand slam, some preposterous stuff like that. So the fact that it was only 2 home runs really should be encouraging, because that tells you he's been this productive and he hasn't gotten comfortable with big league pitching yet. So what's going to happen when he does? And I think we're starting to see it. It's going to be, I think we're watching the beginnings of a special player.
Well, continuing on with that, I'm watching what Christian Campbell's doing. He's getting hot again. He's been really good over the last couple of weeks. He's playing first base as well. The password continuing to dominate, also getting some reps there. Could these be 2 guys that maybe could help the lineup second, September, et cetera, for this team?
That's a great question. I think there's a very good chance that at least one of them could still have an impact on this team. The problem right now is the roster construction. It's a little bit awkward, and working in another right-handed hitter, with Romy kind of already in the picture, and it's not necessarily like a neat fix. So Christian being able to play first base could be a game changer, because if Romy can play second base too, and maybe there's a situation where if Marcelo doesn't come back, you could work it out in a way where Christian could be the guy who you have hitting against left-handed pitching as a first baseman. And if he can be that guy, then maybe he can still make an impact on this team down the stretch. It's certainly encouraging to see him getting hot again at the plate. Last season, people almost forget how good he was last year, just from wire to wire, just a historic minor league season. But as we saw at the beginning of this year, that doesn't always translate to the big leagues. And defensively, he just wasn't ready. Second base was some of the numbers at second base were not good. So first base, if that can be an option for him and he can help this team, that might be his ticket back on the big league roster. And, Garcia, he's just been awesome at AAA ever since he got called up. I think it's something like 16 home runs in 61 games. He also bats right-handed, so it actually might be an interesting choice that the team might make in September, where you have these two guys, and it's like, pick one. Who can help this team the most? It's actually a very interesting question to see which one of them would get the nod first if the team decided one or the other was the way to go.
Mac, I want you to know that on this show, I have been all over Garcia. I don't understand why the Red Sox would ever want to move off a guy that's right-handed who can hit at Fenway Park. I don't understand. Anybody that I talk to says, yeah, he could be like a platoon outfielder. Well, why? Like, for me, I don't want to settle on what people are telling me about this guy. Like, I don't know. People told me that about Mookie Betts years ago. Well, Joe, he's really not an infielder. He can play a little outfield. He hit at every level and then became an MVP. Like, you know what I mean? So how do people really know to project what Garcia is?
So Garcia is, frankly, ever since he kind of broke out last year, has been quite interesting. And the stuff I hear from the guys in like the Red Sox front office, like they're really high on this guy. And think about this. The Red Sox have way too many outfielders already. And they're kind of like, Cedar Rafael is playing second base to accommodate them all, which if you think about it is kind of ridiculous, right? This is like the best defensive center fielder in the game. But that's the only way to get all these guys in the lineup. So they had every reason to trade Justin Garcia at the trade deadline. I mean, he would have been a highly valued piece. He would have potentially gotten a big return, and yet they didn't. Maybe they would have if some bigger deal kind of worked out that they couldn't get over the finish line. But the bottom line is that he's still with the Red Sox, and there's really no good reason why he's still with the Red Sox, except that he's very, very good. And if he can impact this team either as an outfielder or at first base or in some other capacity, that's a very valuable asset to this organization. And he's reaching a point now where it's like, this isn't a next year thing. He could help them this September. Mm-hmm. He could help them this October. It'll be interesting to see if that comes to pass, but he's a good one for sure.
Just remember, you heard it here on the Joe Murray Show. Joe is all over the password. I'm a big fan, and I wish him nothing but the best. Final thing, Marlins come to town. They're struggling this year. You're going to get Giolito, Bayo, Crochet again. Any concerns from Crochet from the last start?
You're going to get one of those from time to time. I think it really says a lot that we got to mid-August before we finally got our first bad Crochet start. I don't think anybody needs to worry about that guy. He's going to be just fine.
Well, there it is. All right. The only thing I didn't like was the look of him and Core on the bench. Like, I always kind of like when the pitcher just goes to the back, hits the showers, and, after the game. He did speak. I just that look, it makes me wonder, like, could they push him back? Could they somehow get a little sneaky and try to get a Skeens versus Crochet matchup with Pittsburgh coming up in a couple of weeks? So I feel like they could get creative with that, and I just worry about it when it comes to Crochet.
I mean, would it really be so bad if we had a Crochet versus Skeens matchup?
That would actually get us to watch. You're right. maybe it would be a good thing if they pushed it back just a little bit. Matt, great job, man. We really appreciate you joining us. Great work over at the Boston Herald. We're here all baseball season long. Love to do it again, man, and we'll talk to you down the line.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. He's Max Cerullo. Check out his work. There's a great crew over at the Boston Herald, everybody. We got them all. We had Mac on tonight. We got Andrew Callahan, Doug Kide. We had Zach Cox the other night. We had people formerly of the Herald as well. It's not like I'm not using the Globe guys, right? Who we got Globe guys? We use Christopher Price, but he's not there anymore, is he? I don't know where the hell he is now. No, he's with the Globe. Gasper's got a different. He goes on with the other shows. There's some people that we can't have on. And, we're always, Dan Shaughnessy's a damn good friend.
You've had him on. I miss Dan.
All I have to do is contact him.
Yeah, maybe we do that.
Did I ever tell you the last time I contacted him? I sent him an email.
He was very nice.
My phone rings. Hey, it's Dan Shaughnessy. Like, how you hear him in the press conferences? That's what he did when he called me. Hey, it's Dan Shaughnessy at the Boston Globe. I go, hey, Dan. It's Joe. I know. I'm calling you back. You just email me.
That's a professional right there.
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, he goes, well, come on. Sure, let's do it. I said, all right, Dad. I go, hey, can I talk about the sandwich you got when you were in the hospital? Oh, yeah.
I do remember that now that you say that. I do remember. Meatball, maybe, or something like that?
Sub from somewhere in Brighton.
Sounds right.
It'll come back.
It'll come back.
Anyways. All right, Skess. Well, can we talk a little green real quick? A little Celtic stuff?
Oh, a little starting lineup news.
Schedule's out, too.
Schedule talk. You want to do win-loss? Should we go through the whole schedule?
Schedule day. Oh, schedule day.
October 22nd, 76ers. Loss.
Will the Celtics give me another payday? I just saw an article. I threw it in Slack. I don't even know who wrote it, and I don't even want to know. Are the 25-26 Celtics the most underrated team in the NBA? We'll talk about that coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Well, not much going on, but there were joint practices today. The offense was okay. The defense not okay. J.J. McCarthy did well. So now as much as we can, but it's let me just give Joe a shout out real quick, because Luke was excellent. We had Trey; they were great. There are interns. If you have college credit and you get approved by the guys, that's how we get you. So it's not like we just find like guys on the street and say, "Hey, do you want to be our intern?" Like, they're qualified. Street Team Joe works on our promotions team. He was at Patriots camp and does all these things, and so he wants to learn the business. Comes in on his own time. Did the graphic tonight for the show, which bookmark musings 950.
Yeah, you've been teasing this off the air. I'm very interested to hear.
Bookmark.
Yes.
But he's just really, when he doesn't realize it, Skaz, but he has a connection to the audience. He really does. Like, he just sits in the chair and just is like, what's Joe going to talk about? And then he has an opinion and a take and a thought. But he's like a dude. You know what I mean?
He's the everyman.
Exactly. And he's younger, too, so he's still a little like, what's the word? Some things are endearing that he does. Some things are like, he's gullible is the word I'm looking for. Anyways, but I give him a shout out because
he's innocent.
Yeah, exactly. And he comes in here and he works and we teach him. He does whatever we say, and it's great. So we're going to have him until we get new interns, I believe, for the fall.
Yes, soonish. You know? September, maybe first week of September, last week of August, maybe.
So it's just us.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, during the summer, they distract me, and I want to know what's in Luke's bowl, and, hey, Joe, come in here. And so tonight has been, like, legitimately full sports with a little bit of fun.
No cookies. No cookies from Luke.
Can you believe
night.
that? Mrs. Fitz, how about my brownies? I did ask him.
Yeah, maybe the holidays, Joe. Maybe the holidays.
I said to him on Monday, I go, your mom going to bring anything for the last day? He laughed. He said nothing. I bet you he's eating all the cookies. The college kids.
He probably gave them to him and he just kept them in his car.
Remember Trey? Took the whole pizza.
Yeah, the smart kid.
Could have shared it with everybody on Cobb Ave. Nope.
No shot.
All right. Well, speaking of shots, the basketball team. The basketball team is the Celtics. All right. Two things. The schedule's out. We don't need to talk about how they're not on prime time and playing on Christmas. And
what a shame.
I know. They don't have Jason Tatum.
I know the producers here are very upset about that.
Oh, yeah. Who works that day usually? B-Rob, maybe? Or
Stenberg and, Barth might get stuck on. Yeah. I think I work Christmas 4 years in a row. And that's part of the gig, You like it. I used to, not mind it,
I did Christmas Eve football.
Be like 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock game. You're still home, early enough. You get out of the house for a couple hours. I didn't mind it.
Oh, good for you. I hated Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve is tough because Christmas Eve is almost not to say it's better than Christmas, but it's right there.
The game was at 8:25.
Yeah, that's brutal. Was that Minnesota? No, that was
Denver. Chad Ryland.
Oh yes, how could I forget? Was Minnesota Thanksgiving? Maybe
it was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It was horrible. Both were horrible.
Horrible.
Do you know I worked? I mean, I know I'm saying this. Yeah, Jeremy's gonna be like, "Shut up, Joe." Anyways. So opening night at home, New Ona versus Philadelphia. There could also be a new starting five. I've been at, Skaz, I will say this. The one thing I've been consistent with is I've asked every guest we have what the starting five will be. Do you think you have an idea today of what the starting five would be? Because I think I got mine.
I got 3 of them.
Well, they might have been on the graphic today, right, for the Celtics? Looks like Peyton Pritchard's going to be a starter. In or out?
With the roster they have right now, in. I think that makes sense. I was texting with my buddies earlier today, big Celtics guys. And actually, I think you met my buddy Brian one time. He came over to see at Dom's.
That's right, at Dom's. I met him.
Yeah, he's a basketball guy, as you can imagine. But I think if you just look at it from the perspective of they brought in Anthony Simons, who is a volume shooter that's inefficient. They have Peyton Pritchard, who's been here, kind of earned his spot on this team. He's a volume shooter that's pretty efficient. I think it's a tough sell to Peyton Pritchard to have him come off the bench while the inefficient volume shooter starts. And, Peyton Pritchard, it's tough to say he's earned a starting spot, 6th man of the year last year. That's a great role for him, but he's a guy who's kind of saying thrived in every scenario they've thrown him in is a little strong, but he's a guy that's done well in just about every situation they've asked him to. Does he get exposed defensively at times? Sure. But with the roster they have right now, I have no issues with Peyton Pritchard being their starting point guard.
I would say the reason why I'm in is because of the roster. If Tatum was here, sorry, bro, you're going back to the bench. It's probably because of Tatum, right? It's all because of Tatum.
Of course, yeah.
Everything is. The reason why I do think Simons will be here. Could they trade him at the deadline or during the season? Absolutely. And I believe there's a cap until September 12th where they can't move him. I think they have to wait till that date. But, yes, I think it's going to be Pritchard, White, and Brown. And, Skaz, who's the best passer of those three?
Well, you only have one guy that might even attempt to pass in that trio, and that would be Derek White. That's one of the issues you might run into. You're going to need Jaylen Brown and Peyton Pritchard to become more playmakers, something that they've not exactly been asked to do often in their careers to this point. But Jason Tatum's the best passer the Celtics have. He's out. He's the best facilitator they have, the best playmaker they have. He draws the most attention on defense. This is going to be a heavy lift for those guys.
Do you think Horford's done with the Celtics? Because didn't Brad say that?
I think Horford's done.
Okay.
I think
because the Warriors is still there.
Yeah,
it's still there.
Who knows?
But okay, so then they need a power forward in the center. Luka Garza's probably a backup center right now, meaning best for him and the team.
He said he's going to shoot the rock, Joe.
Okay.
He said he's ready.
I think Minot will be a 4, like a
You're buying. You're buying on Minot.
You know why? Because he's explosive. He doesn't have a position, and he's tall. So therefore, he's a 4. On this team, and you know who it reminds me of? Oh my God, I just had him. Who was the stretch 4? James Posey. I'm just giving you an example of a type. This kid can't shoot like Posey at all. But he's tall and he gets to the rim. Guys, I'm telling you, if you just typed in Josh Minot, all you would watch is him dribbling and dunking. He did that at Memphis. He was awesome at this. He couldn't play in Minnesota. Garza couldn't play behind 4 bigs, dude. All I'm trying to say is they're going to play here. They're going to play.
Would you like to hear Josh Minot's NBA comps when he was coming out of the draft?
Please.
Who they compared him to? That would be 1 Torrey Craig and 1 Rondé Hollis Jefferson. So the stretch 3-4 pretty much is you're right on the money.
He's going to come off the bench.
It's not as good of a shooter as Torrey Craig.
He's going to come off the bench. He's going to just be an energy guy, but he's going to play the 4. I think Boucher and Keita start, and that's not good. Now, can Boucher shoot the 3 out of the 4 position? Absolutely. I got one more for you, just to talk it out a minute. Is there any? I've asked you this question 5 times. Do you think Sam Hauser could be a part of that? Is there a chance Hauser could be a 4 in the league? Is there a chance? I'm going to say no.
No.
Me too.
No.
And it's not Brown. Right? Remember
No.
we talked to Greeny about that? They don't. This is why I think they're going to be bad. I think that Pritchard will score. White will do his thing. Jalen's going to be the guy. Like, Keita might have a couple of nights because he can run the floor, right? And maybe Boucher has over 10 points again because he did last year, and he had a pretty good career in Toronto. Let's face it. They're not good. They're not good.
You don't think they're the most underrated team in the league, Joe?
No. Their front court stinks. And again, maybe Brad's got to figure it out with Garza. I don't know. I don't think so.
One quick thing on the schedule, because it did come out today. The Celtics have like 24 national games, I believe. The Cleveland Cavaliers and the Dallas Mavericks both have fewer nationally televised games than the Boston Celtics.
Cleveland's market, maybe.
Sure, like I'll agree with you, but just like from a basketball perspective,
one
an
of the
NBA
best teams in the East.
like Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis,
True.
Kyrie, and then the team that won 70 games or whatever it was last year. But that's the power of the Celtics right there. So I guess good for them, but you just hope that they're not losing on national TV frequently.
I do think Peyton Pritchard as a starter could work. And by the way, just to give you the numbers, in 11 starts under Joe Mazzulla, 21 points per game, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. 50, what did he do? 3-point percentage was 41.3. That's pretty good as a starter, everybody. I would take those numbers. But I do think the Celtics, though, when I keep looking at the team, They need some sort of big. I don't know where they're going to get it. John, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys? That was super fast. Anyways, I was saying, like, so if Tatum was on this roster as is without the Achilles injury, you think they're third, fourth in the league, or do you think it's just because, like, without Tatum they're just awful, or is it like would Tatum make this team better, or is it basically the same team with the changes of Porzingis and Holiday?
Let's just say this: if you kept, like we discussed, Pritchard, White, and Brown with Tatum, you could play whoever you want at 5. You could play the kid Amari they just brought in, like that they drafted from Kentucky. Amari,
is that because of the defense Tatum gives you, or why do you think that?
Yeah, because he yes, and yes, and yes.
So Tatum's the key factor on why they're going to fall off compared to if they had Tatum with the same roster.
Yeah, because Tatum defensively can guard fours. Fours can't defend him. He also rebounds. He's the best rebounder on the team. He's the best. And I said this last year. He was the best big they had. And he's not a.
Do you think Mazzulla's philosophy within the threes is going to change based off not having Tatum, or do you think it's going to be?
I think it'll be a little bit reduced and more cutting to the basket.
All right. And then, Joe, I love you, brother. One thing that I got for you, I know you've heard it before, but South Shore Bar Pizza, it is Linwood's, and there's everybody else.
Yeah.
And that is the kid.
Yeah, dude, I'm from Hyde Park. I used to go to Linwood and Town Spa all the time.
I'm a Hobart guy. And then also out there, cheap pizza, Brookfield House of Pizza, best pizza out there if you can't get to Linwood's. There you go.
All right. Well, I'm a Venus guy, and I like poopies.
All right, man. Great talking to you.
Thank you. I say poopies or poopsies? Sorry.
You said poopies, Joe. You certainly did.
You said poopy. Man, sometimes you just got to be able to laugh at yourself, right? Well, can we laugh together with Street Team Joe next? Because he's not here.
Very interested in this story.
This one, you might need a magnifying glass, okay? So we'll take a break. We got the musings coming up next. And again, this hour, the Sports Hub is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com. You can save 15% off an extra through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm Joe Murray.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub. Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, no Red Sox tonight. They're back in action tomorrow. They'll take on the Marlins. Lucas Giolito will get the start. Patriots at joint practices today with Minnesota. Well, it wasn't good for the defense today. J.J. McCarthy had a really nice day while the offensive line continued to struggle, but looks like Drake May had 5 touchdowns, and he was sacked a bunch. But they're going to play on Saturday, preseason game number 2 right here on the Sports Hub. And the Celtics open up their season October 22nd at home versus Philadelphia. Headlines, they are brought to you by Kesha's Law. At Kesha's, they specialize in helping those who have been injured, not only from a one-time incident, but a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit KeshasLaw.com. I'm Joe Murray.
To us, Boston pride runs deep.
I'm a Bostonian!
This is Boston's home for sports.
Bow, bow, bow!
98.5, the Sports Hub.
You want a random take? Murray's got all sorts on stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
Yes. So, again, I went to Catholic school, right? I mentioned that a lot. You know the game, right?
I'm very familiar, Joe, yes.
And somebody would say it, like, penis. And then the next person would have to be like, penis. And then somebody would have to say it just a little bit louder. And it was, in church. It was just so sophomoric, right? Immature. Just,
Yeah, I mean, it's stood the test of time, Joe. We played it. We played it in high school as we played middle school. Yes, very familiar.
So it's just so everyone knows, it's Michael Penix, who's
with an X,
was in a national championship game just a couple of years ago. It was a first-round pick. Was a big trade. Like kind of a known commodity in Indiana and in Washington. He covers a big part of the world and now plays football in Atlanta. So today, a Georgia news station had a hard time getting Michael Penix's name right today. And they called him lower thirds. You know about those, Skaz, right? The lower thirds?
Very familiar, Joe, with lower thirds.
So, for example, if you're watching our YouTube right now, a lower third would be, kind of like if it was said Joe Murray. Right now it says talk to Joe Murray, but there'd be a, with a name. I guess that's a lower third right there, right?
Yeah, it's just a constant one instead of one that flashes in. Yep.
Cool. Well, instead of it saying the spelling of his name.
I will say, Joe, as I'm looking down at the keyboard, the X and the S are pretty close to each other.
Oh, are they?
They are.
Oh.
I also remember very distinctly, I don't remember the date, obviously, but I remember when one Michael Felger realized that you could say penis on the radio. And then he went on to say it about 55 times in 30 minutes, and I think they told him to settle down just a little bit.
He says peni.
He does, yep.
And he also says penis.
Yes.
Which is, again, I have the one thing I'll say about you, Michael Felger, if you're listening. The other day I was with Kevin Majore, and I go, hey, what are the fake names that Felger always uses? Harold Fenefesi and Harry Schmedlap.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And what was the other name? And I could look for it, but he always has he has a roster of fake names.
Very Midwestern fake names too.
I have it right here. Hang on one second. Oh, Guy Strawman. Strawman, get it? That was one of them. Harry Schmedlap. Anyways, so it's Michael Penix Jr.
With an X, yes.
Jr. Jr.
Yes.
So they called him Michael Penis Jr.
That's tough.
You still put the JR in there?
Yeah, nobody wants to be Penis Jr. I don't think so. The man is 25 years old. This has happened to him.
You're going to say that to that man who's been highly regarded his whole career?
I think it was a mistake that'll probably happen again in his career, but this is a man who's had to hear that 10,000 times in his life.
We just have to assume that was a mistake?
Well, I mean, I don't think it was done intentionally.
How do you know?
Maybe it was.
See, this is why we do graphics here. And
I don't know if you're getting that jersey in the team store.
Penis Jr.
I don't think that one's getting by.
All right, this is what I've been trying to talk about all night long. All right, so we do graphics for the show. We tell you who's coming on and who's not. And Street Team Joe was like, hey, I want to do yours tonight. And I said, all right, great, man. Have at it, Haas. So pull it up, Skess. Tell me, and if you're watching along, if you go to @JoeyMurr on Twitter, JoeyMurr. I also have it on I'm Joe Murray on Instagram and Joey Murr on TikTok. Because I'm not a TikToker. I just post on TikTok. Anyways, okay, just stare at the three people and tell me which.
Peyton Pritchard looks like he's AI. That's my first takeaway.
Okay, so go. It looks like Alex Cora, right?
Somewhat, yeah.
Kind of, right?
A little bit.
Does that look like Mike Vrabel?
I would say of the three, it looks the most like Mike Vrabel.
I have not told Skaz. I told Skaz it's about the graphic. That can't be Peyton Pritchard. That's not Peyton Pritchard. And so here's the deal.
Is that Peyton Pritchard Jr. maybe? Or Peyton Pritchard Jr. or something?
Pritch, please. No, for real. Is that Peyton Pritchard?
No.
Who is it?
Joe, your guess is as good as mine.
Kind of looks like Barth.
What is the jersey sponsorship on that Peyton jersey as well?
What is that? So again, Street Team Joe, who I'm not calling out. That's a great graphic. It's a great looking graphic, right?
No, we're very appreciative for all Street Team Joe does for the night show.
But
that's not Peyton Pritchard.
That's not Peyton Pritchard.
No, it's not.
So if I didn't say anything, you would have never ever looked at it.
I mean, I looked at it when he sent it very quickly, and I said
you had no problem with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it and I saw it in Slack. You know, you get the smaller image, obviously, in Slack, and I said, oh, there's Pritchard, Cora, and Vrabel on the graphic. But now that I have it enlarged in front of me on the desktop, that's not Peyton Pritchard.
That's why I wrote to him. I go, hey, we're going to get into like Vrabel and Cora, and we're going to do a little Pritchard. And he goes, okay. What does now I needed to look at? Okay, now I'm looking. I'm going to Google Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard images. Okay, let's do this. Oh God, no!
it's just simply not him. I love you, mean it, Joe. We appreciate the graphic, but it's just not Peyton Pritchard.
Is it his fault?
I'm going to say that Joe, in his effort to get you the graphic quickly before the show to put it out, may have looked into the services of AI or one of those other Chat GPT or something of that ilk, something I refuse to use.
Do you think he used the text that I sent him? Like, hey, come up with like a blue and red background using Alex Cora, Mike Vrabel, and Peyton Pritchard. Do you think he just copied it and threw it in AI? Because I think on Canva, there is an AI like portion of a graphic.
I've reached out to the source.
I hope I hope everyone knows that we are not picking on him.
No, it's funny.
It's
good content.
He's learning. So let's get it. Like, let's learn together, right? Learn by doing. I posted it. I approved it. So, like, as far as I'm here, I'm the one that's at fault. I am the one at fault. I approved it.
There's something about the like eyebrow face area that's just not Peyton Pritchard. That's kind of sticking out to me.
Just have you looked at other Pritchard photos yet?
Yeah, it's not him.
The hair. So, what happened, Joe? The Alex Cora is a little suspect too, right?
Yeah, the Alex Cora almost looks like a doctor in a bad commercial or something. He's got that kind of look to him,
like the emu.
He could be in one of those commercials. Yeah, he looks like a bad commercial actor for some reason.
Yes, and I believe that's Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, once again, the forehead to eyebrow area is giving me some pause.
Yeah, the forehead has a big line across it. Like he just took a helmet off, maybe?
He has been getting in some scrums lately, so
it's almost Harry Potter-esque, the slice in his forehead.
You're saying he has a scar. A little Voldemort action there.
Are we using AI images? Is this what's going on right now? That is not Peyton Pritchard, bro. What does the jersey say? Did we find out?
I've tried to zoom in. I can't make it out.
I can't make that out either. Feel like it says media something.
Joe Murray Media.
It could say that. Maybe it does. Anyways, I thought that was very funny. So yes, if you hear from Joe, let me know. In case everyone, is the chat? Did the chat look at it? I haven't looked yet. Let me see. What's the chat think?
I've got one that's not Peyton Pritchard in the chat.
Oh wow, Joe! Someone said. Skaz, what's your favorite kind of birthday cake?
I'm a carrot cake guy, Joe.
Really?
I am.
For your birthday cake?
I like a good carrot cake.
Do you like it on your birthday?
Yes.
Mike Vrabel does too.
I saw that today. Is that a controversial take?
I don't want carrot cake for my birthday.
No?
No, I want a vanilla layered cake with not chocolate frosting. Or I want an ice cream cake.
Okay, ice cream you can sell me. I'm not a big cake guy, in general. I would take, cookies over cake. I would even maybe take a pie over cake, but carrot cake for me is probably carrot cake and ice cream cake are 1-2.
Okay. Did you see the video of the Patriots giving him a cake?
I did see that.
I don't think that's a carrot cake.
It did not appear to be a carrot cake. Miscommunication, Joe, behind the scenes.
Birthday cake's not carrot cake.
They're on the road,
No. They don't. No one does a birthday cake carrot cake. I listen, I'm 43 years old. I've never seen it.
I believe for my father's 60th birthday, we got him a carrot cake, and it may have weighed like 25 pounds. It was way too big, but
it's way too much carrot cake.
Way too much carrot. He froze like half of it and had slices in his freezer for like a year, I think. I don't know if he ever ate it, but yeah. Carrot cake, I'm in, Joe, on carrot cake being it's your birthday. You get to decide what the cake is.
You're absolutely right.
Cake, largely overrated, though.
Well, Kendra's listening. She yelled penis.
I can see Kendra. That game's not going away. That's timeless, I'm
rooting for him now.
I'm
just rooting for Michael Penix.
Oh, okay, yes.
I've always rooted for Michael Penix. When he was at Indiana, I thought he was unbelievable. What, do you have 2 ACL surgeries? And he went to the national championship game.
I'd like to see Michael Penix's receivers do a little better. I would like to,
Would you trade Jalen Polk to the Falcons to reunite with Penix?
Am I getting anything back?
Oh, they gave you a 3rd-round pick for Judon last year, right?
That's true.
Could you take a 6th-round pick for him?
Would you? A 6? I don't know. It sounds like he might make the roster. I don't know.
Anyways, that's what I had. Oh, and did you see the air guitar that was being played in studio today for Maz's Tears?
I saw very little of that, but I did see it. Yes.
I only saw it because I just saw Mark Dondero tweet it out. So he wore aviator shades and used a hockey stick as an air guitar.
Little risky business? Is that Tom Cruise? Is that?
Yeah, I know.
Is that what we're going for there?
Was that what he was going?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't know either. I've never seen anyone play air guitar to Maz's Tears.
It's always a first, Joe. Always a first.
Okay. By the way, the password just hit another home run.
I might have to start getting a sounder or something.
What was the one? The one from the Buffalo Bills. Oh, baby! Oh, that's a good one. That was
That was, who was it? Deion Dawkins' impression of Donnie from the Wild Thornberrys.
Just remember, it was Saturday afternoon at like 1:45. I'm in my chair just doom scrolling with football on. And I heard that. And I immediately was like, I need to get that. But good old Underdog. They had it right away. And I went, putting that one in the old pile. All right, birthdays today, everybody. Well, Skaz gave one out last night, right?
It is Halle Berry's birthday today, Joe.
Let's pay that one off.
59 years old, the great Halle Berry. Awesome. From Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland rocks. Happy birthday to comedian Steve Martin, 80 years old today. Respect.
What's your favorite Steve Martin movie?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles comes to my brain. When I was a kid, I really liked Father of the Bride. Him and Martin Short were like a kind of like a duo at one period of time.
I feel like they still are.
Yeah, because I think they still do things together. But that, and again, I got him like late when he was kind of like making cheesy movies. You know,
Yeah,
like
Bringing Down the House.
Yeah,
Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah, exactly. I got the non-drug version of Steve. I actually don't even want to assume he was on drugs. I just assume everybody from the 70s was on drugs. Is that fair for me to do or think or say?
Sounds fair to me, Joe.
Yeah, Father of the Bride's coming back out. Wow, I didn't even... Pink Panther. Yeah, never got...
The Jerk.
Didn't get to that one either. Sergeant Bilko. Yep. Leap of Faith. I remember that one. Grand Canyon. Oh, yeah, he had a couple right in that. Parenthood. That was a good one. Dirty, Rotten Scoundrels. Yeah, all those late 80s, early 90s. Who else's birthday do we have today? We got Marcia Gay Harden, 66 years old. Irvin Magic Johnson. Give him a statue because he's got one. 66 years old. 66. Damn. Susan Olsen is 64 years old today. You already mentioned Halle Berry. Catherine Bell, 50. Wow, 57. Jeez. And Mila Kunis, 1 year younger than me, Skaz. 42 years old today. Is she still with Ashton Kutcher?
I believe that's correct. I have no idea.
Did you ever see Friends with Benefits with Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis?
I don't. It's not ringing a bell.
Rom-com. If you're ever like, hey, wanna watch a movie? Because it's like one of those movies you can like scroll on your phone and have it on.
Classic.
You know, it's kind of the world these days, right? Is that what hanging out is now? You hang out, you see what you can watch while you scroll on your phone?
I think that is a lot of it, unfortunately.
What else we got for birthdays, guys? Anything?
It is Clay Buchholz's birthday today.
I met Clay Buchholz. We hung out at a DMC from Run DMC, rapped all night. I was with him.
It is Tim Tebow's birthday today.
Whoa, how old?
He was born on this date in 1987.
Just like 37?
That would make him 38 today.
38. Joe Math.
Yeah, not a math guy either here.
Kofi Kingston. Local guy, good guy. 44 years old. He'll be, I think he'll be here tomorrow night. There's a big wrestling tomorrow. Today over at Card Vault, they had Tiffany Stratton, and Jacob Fatu. Fanatics event that, unfortunately, I didn't even want to ask because I was figuring that I wouldn't get there anyways.
Tiffany Stratton, any relation to... Wasn't there a Stratton like an old school?
Oh, you're thinking of
oh, maybe I'm thinking of
Trish Stratus.
Oh, okay, no relation.
No, but both very talented wrestlers.
I got you, Joe. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Very talented. Spencer Pratt, remember him?
Sounds familiar.
Him and Heidi from the Hills.
A little before my time, but I am aware.
Out.
I am aware.
Hard out. That guy sucks. And Heidi, she got brainwashed. So everyone goes, no, it's Tim Tebow's birthday, everybody. Some people may think he, you know how sometimes you just say something and people, they hear something different. That'd be a sad day. You know what? Great football player. Maybe not a great quarterback, but a great football player.
Great.
That run with the Broncos, by the way, the Demaryius Thomas touchdown, that was legendary. I wonder if that's like a Denver Broncos like big memory.
It's like they're, miracle.
Do they mention that they lost and gave up 55 points against the Patriots in the next game?
I think Patriots fans do.
Do you think Tim Tebow would have been good at the tush push?
Sure. Yeah, he's a big guy. Ran a lot. Why not?
That would have been his place in the league today.
Remember when he tried to play for the Mets?
I do.
That didn't go well.
Give him credit, though. Tried.
Joe, are you familiar with Bob Backlund?
The cross-faced chicken wing?
Well, whatever you just said, it is Bob Backlund's birthday today.
He's going to be like 80, right?
Born on this day in 1949, 76 years old today.
So he actually was one of the first world champions in WWF all time. And in the 90s, they brought him back, and he would use the cross-faced chicken wing, which is a move.
Please educate the people, because I have no idea what the cross-faced chicken wing is.
It's a sleeper hold.
Sounds like a menu item.
But because the way that he does it was he uses your own arm to choke you. So it's kind of like your own bicep goes into your neck, and he cross-faces you.
Not an overly large man.
Nope. But he's very strong, believe it or not. I just saw the Dundero photo again. He has his tongue out. It looks like a little bit of between Gene Simmons and I don't know what is going on there. Anything else good going on today?
It is David Crosby's birthday, I believe. R.I.P. I don't believe he's still with us. Crosby still's Nash and Young. And then if you're familiar with the Far Side comics, Joe, it is Gary Larson's 75th birthday today.
All right. That's it for me. Alex Bregman's beer came out today. Limited edition.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Sam Adams.
I remember Derek White's.
I remember going to Doyle's.
Does that mean we're going to get some Alex Bregman commercials like we got with Derek White?
Ooh, that'd be cool. Speaking of that, shout out to the Deli Boys, Prosciutto Poppy and Tommy Garino. Did you see the unveiling of the Celtics schedule today?
I did see that, yes.
They went to the
little
deli.
production there.
They went
so
to the,
Love Island was involved, I think I saw.
Yeah, but Tommy and they're content creators.
That's the game these days.
Bet you they got a nice little penny for that one. All right. That's it. We'll take a quick break. What's going on with Stefon Diggs? We'll have more coming up next on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On
mad because on your birthday you can have whatever you want, but I still think carrot cake sucks on your birthday.
Like, entered it into AI to try to make it look more visually appealing. But he said he didn't notice Pritchard's face until we just texted him, and now he's cracking up laughing because he didn't notice it either.
So it's AI. What's the shirt say though on the original? Or did AI
on the original it says Vistaprint, which is the Celtics sponsorship.
Yep.
Now that I'm zooming in on the AI image because I have it on my phone now, it says Mika Bowie is what it says on the AI Peyton Pritchard. Joe is saying my bad. There's no reason for him to say my bad.
Don't worry.
It's a great graphic, and none of us noticed except for you, Joe.
Gave us content, bro. No, you know what it is? It's just I noticed that I posted 2 different graphics. So if you look on Twitter, I posted the one that you see. The one I posted on Instagram is not the one that I. So I was like, wait a second, what's going on here?
Seeing them side by side now, because he sent me both of them in succession, it's very fun. Alex Cora is not Alex Cora. Mike Vrabel does look eerily similar. Both pictures are almost one and the same. The hairline and the forehead are slightly different. But Peyton Pritchard is simply just not Peyton Pritchard.
That's not him. It's not him. All right, so Stefon Diggs, I didn't show up today thinking there was an issue with the team. I didn't. I actually, in the rundown I sent you, Skaz, I mentioned Diana Rossini, him saying, I don't know. And, she's like, well, I'm hearing that, you're really forcing it. And then Mike Vrabel spoke and was like, yep, he's working hard. And then today, Mike Vrabel had a back and forth with Phil Perry. Maybe we can play that again, Skaz. But there was a back and forth with Phil Perry, and I didn't think anything of it. Honestly, I didn't think anything of it. And then when I got in tonight, right around 6:37, maybe because that's when NBC Sports Boston has the show at Trenny. Maybe he was on, and that's why it became a news story. So anyways, let's hear the exchange this morning from Mike Vrabel and Phil Perry regarding Stefon Diggs' status for Week 1.
Stefon made some comments yesterday about how he's not sure about his readiness for Week 1.
Did you really believe that, Phil? I mean, you're a smart guy. I don't know where you went to school. It wasn't Ohio State, but do you really believe that? Do you really believe that, Phil, or are you just trying to bait me into something?
I'm not baiting you.
Okay.
He did say he wasn't sure he'd be ready for Week 1. Is there any doubt in your mind?
I don't know the context in which he said it, but you'd have to help me. I mean, he's been out here almost every day. I'm excited of where he's at, and we'll see when Week 1 comes. But he's going to practice today. Hopefully he helps us in the red zone. But we can't predict the future about Week 1. I just know he's going to be out there today. And he works hard, and he cares, which are 2 important things.
Okay. Weird exchange, right?
I didn't realize the Ohio State University was now Princeton or Harvard.
Remember they were exchanging tattoos for memorabilia and tickets? Smart kids.
Bastion of integrity, the Ohio State there.
Smart kids.
No mishaps over there.
Not at all. Nope. No issues. So, we begin the show. We're talking Pats. I'm telling you I'm worried. What's going on? We start playing the Rossini stuff around 8 o'clock, and then I see NBC Sports Boston, Perry. Stefon Diggs doesn't look like a number 1 receiver anymore. Phil Perry notes that Stefon Diggs might be a budding issue for the Patriots. Question mark? Well, he was on Early Edition, I believe. And, well, if you got that sounds, guys, let's hear what he said on Early Edition. And again, I just want to throw a disclaimer that Phil Perry is not one of these guys.
This is Phil with Tom, you're saying?
Yeah, and I just want to make sure that he's not one of these guys who just starts stuff for clicks. He's just not that kind of guy, so maybe there's something there, but let's hear it.
That this could turn into an issue.
It's interesting, Tom, because, there are little signs that he's just becoming a bit of a pain in the posterior. I asked Mike Vrabel about those very comments that we just played this morning, And he said, did you really believe that, Phil? Did you really believe those comments? I mean, he's out here. He's doing everything. You seem like a smart guy. Did you really believe that? I said, yeah. I mean, he says he might not be ready for week 1. Do you have any doubt? And he said, I don't know. We'll find out when we get to week 1. But he's out here and he's doing everything. I mean, for Mike Vrabel to sort of have to be his public relations assistant and tell us what he really meant in his commentary to a member of the national media, I don't know if that irks Mike Vrabel or if he's just looking to go back and forth with somebody in the media. But between Downing's comments, between his what I would call sort of quiet performance this camp, Vrabel's comments this morning, and the fact that, Tom, he is not planning, is my understanding, on talking to the local media until he plays in a game. So maybe that'll happen this Saturday. I have my doubts. It all sort of adds up to there's a lot going on with this guy for a guy who doesn't look like a number 1 receiver.
Okay. I would just I love our people in chat. And earlier we got a call from a guy in Hull that I couldn't understand what he was saying, but he did say it was boring. And then we have another guy in our chat who says, are we really doing this? This is a non-story. I just want to let you guys know that I'm not down there, and I am not reporting any of this. But do you think I shouldn't bring this up on the air? Do you think that this is a topic I shouldn't discuss? Guys, is this something we should just, nothing to see here? Let's move on.
Stefon Diggs, known good teammate, right? Hasn't had any issues in any of his prior stops, right?
No, I hear you. Listen, let me just tell you this. I don't want there to be issues with Stefon Diggs.
I don't think anyone wants there to be.
No, I don't want, for our sake, they need a receiver.
You want the Patriots to be good. I want the Patriots to be good.
I want the Patriots to be good for entertainment reasons and for our job and to root for the local team. I want that. I don't want to do sucking anymore. I don't want to suck anymore.
There's a theme of the night.
So, I'm not the one stirring the pot on this. What the hell happened today? There was a nice back and forth there between him and Vrabel, and then after practice, he's a problem? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, and I do think it gets, fans get a little sensitive. I understand why Patriots fans are sensitive about the team. It's been a while since they've had hope or even some expectations heading into the season. I would say welcome to the rest of the NFL. But, yeah, I mean, Stefon Diggs is a guy who was on Minnesota, left, went to Buffalo. Josh Allen was the MVP the season after Stefon Diggs left. I believe that's correct. Or was it 2 years after he left? It makes you wonder there. He goes to the Texans. Things don't really go well there. He gets hurt, and the Texans say, we're good, we're all set, even though they have a young quarterback who needs all the help he can get. So I think it's more than fair for Stefon Diggs to be a topic of discussion, especially when you're getting mixed messaging coming from the Patriots. Todd Downing is saying one thing. Mike Vrabel is saying another thing. Josh McDaniels is saying another thing. Stefon Diggs is a guy who's had some hiccups.
And now he's not talking to the local media until he plays a game, according to Phil. And he has his doubts about him playing this weekend.
Not a reporter. Not a reporter. We react to the reports.
I'm just reacting to this. This is a story. Tomorrow, I'm telling you. Tomorrow, everybody. If you think that I'm boring you, get ready to be put to sleep tomorrow. They have a game on Saturday, J.J. McCarthy, Drake May, and we're going to be talking about Stefon Diggs.
Yeah, and if Stefon Diggs had been a model NFL player for the bulk of his career, then I probably would dismiss this immediately and say, it's early, he's been out there every day, not too worried about it. But to say that Stefon Diggs has done nothing to elicit this is asinine. You're not living in reality. He had off-the-field issues this summer. He had a video come out that didn't exactly paint him in the best light or paint the Patriots in the best light. He's had issues at other stops with teammates. It's been well reported. He is a wide receiver. He is a diva wide receiver. Now, that's not a bad thing. The Patriots need a diva wide receiver, but diva wide receivers want the ball, and they make it known if they're not getting the ball.
Yeah, I just want to make this clear. He has an ACL injury. It sounds like he's pushing it hard, and sounds like he wants to be ready week 1. And Mike Vrabel is just saying that he's working every day. But there's a report from a reporter that is literally there. I am not. Skaz is not. But there's someone there that's saying he's a pain. Basically, he's a pain in the ass. I'm paraphrasing. But they're saying he's a pain in the ass. I have nothing to show for that. I got nothing on that. If anything, I'm watching Diggs blow by everybody at camp. Everybody.
That's why it's interesting to me, because he is out there every day, because we're seeing good highlights of him torching guys like Jeff Okudah. Who's ever lined up against him, he looks good against. To me, that makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, and I love interacting with our chat. Frank says he looks good in practice, so I'm not sure where this is coming from. I'm with you guys. We have a job to do. Our job is sports, and we talk about stories and what it is. And I know that someone's saying this is the Boston Sports Media stirring the pot. I just want to let you know that I know a guy that doesn't stir pots and who's reporting the story.
Is Diana Rossini local?
And she's actually a national media person.
I didn't realize
who literally had Stefon Diggs in his chair and wouldn't say a word.
Yeah, I must have missed when Diana Rossini joined the Globe and the Herald. That one slipped by me there.
And again, to Frank in our chat, Skaz literally said, name a top wide receiver who isn't a diva. I can't.
Well, the one guy who isn't is his team's kind of holding him over a barrel right now, and that's Terry McLaurin. He's been nothing but a model citizen since he's been in Washington. He's been everything they had hoped of. He was the one thing in that franchise you could bank on a weekly basis for years, and now the team is almost holding it against him. So those guys do exist, but Stefon Diggs has not been that guy in his career.
I just want to make it known that I want what's best for Stefon Diggs and the Patriots. But when I hear a report saying he's a pain in the ass, I need more. I need more. What's going on? What's he doing? Because if not, I'm going to be like all of you in chat. Oh, stir it up the pot. I just know I'm not. Phil Perry does not need us to defend him. All I can tell you is he's not even on the list of people that stir the pot, in my opinion. Something's going on there. It's smelly. You guys know how I know it's smelly? Because everybody hates it.
Yeah, they kick the bee's nest, Joe.
They hate the fact that we're talking about something that's being reported. No, this isn't the media stirring it. This is reporting on a report. And I am not a reporter or a journalist. But we do have to go to break here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Patriots and Vikings. They'll meet on Saturday, 1 o'clock here on the Sports Hub. No word yet if Stefon Diggs will play in that game, and some people say no. So no. All right, back here on 98.5 Sports Hub. A lot of people hanging out tonight on the show. I've noticed more people. So we've consistently been on more, too. So that's good because we're in the middle of summer, and we're just counting down the days, guys. I believe it. So what's the dates, guys, we actually get going? It's that Tuesday, right? Heading in. Do we know what day is Labor Day, actually? Let me just pull that up. I got my calendar here. Calendar's literally booked literally forever. All right, so the first Labor Day is on the 6th, right? Wait, I'm in the wrong month. Labor Day is on. What the hell is Labor Day this year? Wait, where am I? Okay. Every time I touch my calendar, it goes to October, and I hate that.
Labor Day is September 1st, I believe, this year.
So the 2nd is when things go back to normal. Ratings, fall book, all that. So we're going to be full go. I hope.
I got to go to a wedding in Chicago that week, but yes, we'll be a full go.
All right, well, that's fine. That weekend?
I think I'll be out Thursday, Friday, I believe.
When's the wedding?
Saturday.
So you're going
My girlfriend's in the wedding, though, so she has to...
What about Sunday?
I'll be back.
Oh, you flying back Saturday night?
Sunday.
Oh. So you think you'll be able to see the game?
That's the hope. I haven't booked flights yet, so we'll see.
Are you is your ride home surrounded around the game?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And plus, it's Chicago, so was that Central Time?
Yes.
So is that ahead, or I can't remember?
It's one behind, I believe.
One behind. So 1 o'clock Eastern Time will be noon your time.
I believe so.
So you would like a flight potentially after.
After or 9 a.m.
But after a wedding.
Yeah.
You gotta. That's a conundrum.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm out on that one.
Yeah, you're telling me.
We still haven't played the paranormal sound. We can't do it tonight.
Yeah, well, we waited for tonight because we thought Street Team Joe was going to join us. Unfortunately, he could not, but we'll get there.
Tomorrow's Friday. I want to let everybody know that tomorrow night is SmackDown in Boston, and R-Truth is doing a live concert after SmackDown tomorrow night, and then Saturday morning, another card show. Best flipping card show, Woburn. I'll be there. I got a table set up that morning, so if you guys want to come by. And then I'll be here for the Patriots game, doing post game, I believe until 7 o'clock on Saturday. So tomorrow is essentially a Friday heading into a football week. So we got you covered here tomorrow night. And there is a little card story I wanted to get to. I know you just posted it in Slacks, guys. We'll get to that tomorrow. That one should be funny. All right, appreciate y'all. Get ready for the Stefon Diggs drama. Oh, it's coming, baby. For James Scaramazino, I'm Joe Murray. We'll talk to you.